Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Per reports, the Dolphins are trading star wideout Jalen Waddle and a fourth-round pick to the Broncos for first, third, and fourth-round picks. Waddle notched over 5,000 receiving yards in 5 seasons with Miami. NHL Blue Jackets host the Hurricanes at 7. Canes lead the Metro Division with 90 points. Jackets 2 points out of the second wild card with 79. College Hoops NCAA Tournament first 4 starts tonight in Dayton as 16 seeds UMBC and Howard clash at 6:40, followed by 11 seeds Texas State and NC State at 9:15. More from the hardwood, Alabama head coach Nate Oates said the 4-seed Crimson Tide plan to play without all-SEC guard Aiden Holloway versus 13-seed Hofstra Friday at 3:15. He was arrested Monday after authorities found over a pound of marijuana at his home. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, the best credit union for the past 8 years in a row by CBUS Top Picks. Visit bmifcu.org to learn more.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, here we go. Welcome back aboard. A little Rando Tuesday style. Not so much with St. Patty's and everybody getting after it today. Weather's not cooperating, but we are ready for a big week of hoops and a lot more. My man Joshua Perry back in studio today. Good to see you.
Always good to see you.
Thanks, brother. All right, let's get to something that we talked about yesterday, and we'll set it up today a little bit with. So we got Party this hour. We'll kind of spin the wheel of Buckeye when it comes to this draft. We'll tell you all about that. Mel Kiper put out another mock. We'll attack that a little bit. And then we got this Waddle trade to talk about that just happened. But yesterday, you enlightened us that you believe that some of your information has been out there.
Leaked. On the dark web.
On the dark web, which
Yes.
I have no clue what that truly is, but I don't want to know. And so yesterday I'm texting you in the late afternoon saying I think I just got scammed, or I was going to get scammed.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the story, and you can tell me what you believe about it. So we've all received the emails and stuff, the garbage you can read right through. Everybody knows that, right? Somebody asking you for money, you don't know, all that. And it can get even weirder when it comes to, like, if someone has some real personal information and you feel like, but this is just a very simple nothing. So a buddy of mine, I'm not on the Book of Face.
Okay.
I'm not on Facebook. But he swears by Facebook Marketplace. Like, he sells a lot of stuff there. And that's fine. He does.
I got a story about this.
Yeah, so, and this may be very common. I don't know because I've never done this. And so I'm getting new golf clubs, and I was going to sell a couple of my old ones. And he's like, hey, let me put it on Facebook Marketplace. I've had great success there. I'm like, yeah, just take it. It's no big deal. A hybrid, a 3-wood, whatever. Let's see what we can get out of it. If not, I'll just trade it in. And so he puts it out there, and he was texting me at the end of the show, or towards the end of the show, and says, hey, this guy wants your hybrid, and what's your Venmo? And I'm like, okay. And I gave my friend my Venmo to pass along to this guy. And then the last, 10 minutes of the show, he's like, he keeps Venmoing you the money, and it's not going through. Do you have something wrong with your Venmo? I'm like, I hardly use it. I don't really think there's a problem. And I wrote back, no clue. We'll figure out after I'm off the air. And he's like, why don't you just send me your QR code? And I'm like, okay, I could do that too. It never occurred to me, why would someone be paying me before they actually have it? Mm-hmm. Like, why would a stranger send me money? You would do this in person when you're making the transaction. Never really occurred to me at that point. And so my buddy says, hey, he says he keeps trying to send the money and it won't go through. And he got a phone number kicked back to him from customer service from Venmo. You should call that number and find out what's wrong with your Venmo.
Of course.
Again, it did not go off for me. Because you're getting someone who's very susceptible to this, because I don't do this very often. So after the show, I'm driving home, and I call this number, thinking it's customer service for Venmo. It's Charlotte, North Carolina, I don't know where. And so the guy answers the phone, and it didn't, right off the bat, it did not sound, it was almost like, hello? Like, right. I'm like, come on, that's not how... Like, so I say, hey,
now, some people in customer service do sound like that.
So he starts asking me what's my first and last name.
Sure.
I give him the first and last name. And then he said, well, how much money was this person trying to Venmo you? And I told him it wasn't that much, but here's the figure. And then he said, do you have a bank account attached to your Venmo? And I said, well, of course I do. I think most people do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can transfer money or add to it or whatever. And then he asks, we need to verify your identity. What bank do you use? And at that point, I'm driving in the car. I'm like, so my radar, right away, when he asked me that, and I'm not saying it wasn't legit at the time. Maybe if I just gave him what bank I use, it wouldn't have been a big deal. I really wanted to kind of see where this was going afterward, but I didn't. So I said, you know what? I'm really not comfortable giving out my bank. And he goes, whoa, like something like, we're not trying to, we're just trying to verify your identity. And I'm like, well, yeah, it just doesn't feel right to me right now. And he goes to me on the phone, why are you raising your voice at me? This is what he says to me. And I say, well, I'm in the car. I'm on a Bluetooth, driving in the car. Most people talk a little louder when they're in the car when they're the Bluetooth. And I said, well, if you were a professional customer service agent, you would probably want to talk me through my fears, not talk down to me.
Sure.
Like, I don't think anyone would say, why are you raising your voice at me? And then I said, well, I'm just not comfortable with this. And he starts talking a little, and I'm like, well, now you're raising your voice at me. And this is the conversation we're having. And I said, you know what? This isn't that big of a deal. I can do this another time. It's a golf club. I don't need to do this today. See ya. And I hung up. And I texted my buddy back and I go, thanks for walking me into a scam. And he writes back to the guy on Facebook, cash only, and never heard again.
Yep.
And then he called the number, doesn't exist anymore, or doesn't. So clearly this person caught me off guard. Hey, I've been trying to send you money. It's something on your end. Call customer service, figure it out. He's got a partner in crime, apparently, ready to answer that phone when I called. And I'm sure he was angry. The next question had to be, once I gave him my bank, would have been probably what? Routing number?
Yeah,
or
routing
something?
and
or like, give me the last four numbers of your social. Like,
Sure.
it would have I could have gone down that road and just started faking the numbers. Oh, by the way, when I was thinking about not giving him my bank account or my banking, just the name of the bank, he said, now we have it here. We're trying to verify.
So you tell me then.
So if you lie, I'll know. Like, who says that?
All right, well, then why don't you tell me, and then I'll confirm with you.
Yeah, well, no, but then that's what I could have said in the beginning. Well, I need to confirm your identity.
Right.
Or, by the way, in the phone call for start, he said, just so you know, this call's being recorded.
Sure.
And I should have said at that point, well, good, because I'm recording on this end, too. So anyway, I tap danced out of a potential scam. Now, I assume he wasn't trying to fleece my bank account. It was just to try to drain my Venmo, apparently, I bet.
No,
right?
I think they were going after the whole kit and
Really?
caboodle, all 100%. So I've got a similar story. My wife does the Facebook Marketplace thing, and she sells old clothes on there. So she gets this person who's like, hey, I want to buy these pieces from you. They negotiate a price. Boom. So my wife doesn't have her Zelle set up, and she's like, this person is going to Zelle you the money. And so my wife calls me back. I'm running to sort of get something. And she's like, they say that your Zelle is locked and you need to, Zelle's going to send you an email and you need to get in there and fix it, whatever. And I feel like that's the one that gets people. The call this number and do that whole thing. I feel like if you're on the line long enough, you'll realize that you're being scammed. When they ask you to click the email and input your information on whatever that link is, classic phishing. They're going to steal your info and then they're going to drain your bank account. And so I told my wife, I'm like, I can tell you right now this person is not real. And she's like, what do you mean? And so I send her the screenshot of the email, and the whole thing like literally went to my junk mail. And so she messages the person back and was like, I feel like I'm about to get scammed. Whole Facebook disappeared. The whole Facebook account was just gone at that point. There's scammers around every corner. I fully believe that. So I've got my antennas up at all times.
Yeah. It's good that I was skeptical about it. And then I guess my buddy said that his brother was going to come get it. I'm like, all right. I mean, I didn't think anything of this because I had not done any transaction yet. If you wanted to meet me, that's fine. Meet in a public place. You can do the Venmo right in person. Here's the QR code.
That's what I told my wife.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But the second it was going down and you know what it was? If he was a little more like polished on the air.
Yeah.
I think he may have gotten me to release at least the name of my bank.
Right.
If he would have said, hey, I'm going to text you something now to your cell, because now he has my cell because I called from it, then that would have been a little iffy. And that's what at the end I said, listen, this is not that big of a deal. I like, you guys figure it out. I'm sure my Venmo will work at some point.
Right.
We'll get this all figured out. Anyway, but it was funny. Like, after you talked about getting scammed yesterday, somebody must have been listening. Hey, he sounds pretty. Let's pluck this guy.
Found the mark.
He sounds perfect.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so
it's
that was
insane. Well, I'm glad that you didn't fall for the big scam, because it could have been a very sad day for you.
Banana in the tailpipe. Tell you, that was not going to happen yesterday. Not for a gently used hybrid. All right, so we got Mel Kiper's mock, and we're going to get to that next, because the curiosity for most people that like the Browns are, which way are they going to help Shedeur? Am I saying that correctly? Maybe I'm not. We'll do it next. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Take your shot to save at Great Lakes Hyundai. Shoot the hoop to get extra savings on your new car purchase. On top of big shot savings like 0% financing on 26 Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucson's for up to 5 years. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. It's the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With Pro Credit, some customers may not qualify. First to cruise during no payment period. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's Best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Offer ends 3/31.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. You know, spring cleaning is a thing that happens in the spring. Go figure, it's in the name. But as you're getting rid of some stuff in your house that you no longer need, doesn't work right, or you never should have had in the first place, why don't you add your windows to that list? Yeah, your windows may have bad insulation. That's why they let in the cold air in the winter and the warm air in the summer. Makes your home less energy efficient. It's costing you money every single month. With Window Nation, you get high-quality, energy-efficient products at a great price. All of Window Nation's products are backed by a lifetime warranty, and right now is a great time to upgrade. The more you buy, the more you save in March. Up to 50% off all window styles from Window Nation. Plus, there's great financing options, including $0 down, 0% interest for 60 months, and payments as little as $199 a month. The first step is getting a consultation with Window Nation so they can find the problem areas in your house. I'm going to guess they're near the windows. So schedule that consultation for free today at windownation.com. Once again, that's windownation.com.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at all 4 Coghlan Kia locations. Get 0% plus no payments for 90 days on select new Kia Sorrentos, Sportages, and Tellurides. Or buy a new 2026 Kia K4 for $279 a month. Visit CoglanKia.com.
0% APR available for 48 months on select in-stock units. 90-day deferred payments. Buy for $279 per month for 84 months at 5.99% APR with approved credit through Kia Finance. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/26.
Camping World is now open in Sunbury. The celebration starts now, and you're invited. Join us from March 19th to the 22nd for our grand opening block party with special pricing on a huge selection of new and used RVs. Enjoy free food, fun on-site activities, and exciting giveaways. Plus, enter for a chance to win a brand new RV. As part of America's #1 RV network, Camping World brings you more value and more ways to enjoy life on the road. Don't miss the grand opening block party at Camping World in Sunbury. We'll see you there.
Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you can save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details.
Each day, it seems tougher to make ends meet with rising prices. Vivek Ramaswamy believes if you work hard, you shouldn't have to struggle. That's why he's working to lower costs, putting Ohio families first. Because as a father who just welcomed his 3rd child in February, this fight isn't political, it's personal. Just ask his wife.
Bringing a new baby home puts everything into perspective. I'm Apoorva Ramaswamy. Nothing means more to my husband, Vivek, than being a father. He knows Ohio families are working hard, but falling behind. Like every parent, he wants safe communities, great schools, and a state where hard work means you can afford your home, your groceries, and your future. Vivek is running for governor to give every family a fair shot at a better life. So Ohio's future stays right here.
Lower costs, bigger paychecks, better schools. Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
It's a new month and a new reason to visit Germain Honda of Dublin. Right now, take advantage of great low rates on select certified pre-owned models all month long. You'll get the reliability you trust, the value you want, and payments that make sense. And the wait is over. The all-new Honda Prelude has arrived with precision suspension and responsive hybrid performance. Great rates, awesome vehicles. Only at Germain Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or online at GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A chance of snow showers today, otherwise mostly cloudy skies and struggling to get into the low 30s with breezy winds. And then for tonight, partly cloudy overnight with lows in the 20s. For Wednesday, we do have a slight chance of snow showers turning into rain showers as we head into the afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be mostly cloudy and warmer with highs around 40 and breezy winds. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Matty was a big Browns fan. Scratch that, we mean he's a big fan of the former Browns. Oh, yeah. The Baltimore Ravens. This is Rothman and Ice.
So the fire sale of the Dolphins continues. This is something that had been talked about with Jalen Waddle ever since Miami was going liquidation. And you know which team was looking at him the most? The Steelers. They were thinking if they could get Waddle, that would be a big deal. And I guess, and Buffalo was looking at him. And I think the reason they didn't want to do business with Buffalo is the obvious. They didn't want to face him twice a year.
Yes.
So they just got DJ Moore, too.
Yeah, but I mean, before
the deadline.
Yeah, the two teams that were thinking, I think Steelers and Buffalo, and I don't think a first-round pick was attached to the original. Maybe Buffalo did.
I think Buffalo tried to offer it first.
But they said, let's not do business, which is weird because most teams are like, if this is a good deal, we don't care. He's going to be 30 soon or whatever, and by the time we're good, he won't be.
Right.
Like, that's probably the way usually it goes. But it didn't go that way this time. And a lot of people believe a couple things. One, that he's a top 10 receiver in the league. We could easily debate that. And probably that he was overshadowed by Tyreek, who isn't overshadowed by him a little bit. And so now the Dolphins are in this rebuilding process, and it's really the cap hell they're in based on the Tua thing, right?
Right.
So, I know the weird thing for Dolphin fan is, wait a minute, we just paid to get Malik Willis. He's got to have somebody decent to throw to. And I feel like they just got a $23 million receiver off their books, and now they'll go younger and they'll rebuild. If Malik Willis were 32 instead of 26, I would probably be like, okay, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I think they figure they can rebuild on the fly with a young quarterback, and that's the way they'll do it because they have a young quarterback, and they seem to be, certainly they'll build around that running game. Achan's good, but I think this was a little bit of a surprise because Graziano said that Waddle being traded was about a 10% chance. Wow. Just because he was just under contract. They need to hold this thing together at some point, and that's it. Because Miami was asking for a first-round pick. They did get a first-round pick, TLC, right, in this deal? They got Denver's first round. Yeah, so they did get a late first-rounder. No team was really willing to meet their asking price. The Bills, as you and I talked about, probably were. And then that's them not doing business with them. So the brand new regime in Miami.
Yes.
By the way, and you can speak to this. That's the beauty of Miami right now, if there is any, is that we're not tied to any of you guys.
Right.
We have no emotional attachment. We didn't draft you. We didn't trade for you. It's a brand new regime.
You guys are all numbers in the spreadsheet to us.
including Achane.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it brings up this idea too, speaking of like, what are you going to do this year? Obviously go younger. It's a deep wide receiver draft. I mean, people have talked about the amount of good players that are going to be around late in the first round and even on day 2. So I feel like they probably got themselves into a spot where they said like, well, Willis probably isn't going to light the world on fire anyway this year. So we'll let him grow and develop with the young wide receiver that we might bring in this draft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's because I was getting a text from our boy Z, who's a big Dolphin fan. He's like, this is atrocious. And I'm like, they set you up for this. Like, they set you up for this. That's not bad value for a rebuild, by the way. They're sending Waddle to the Broncos, and they're getting so Denver gets Waddle in the Dolphins' 4th round pick, and which would be 11th in that round. And Miami's getting the Broncos' first pick, 30, along with their late 3rd and 4th, which would be the 30th in each round there. So they got their first round, and they got him out of the division.
Yep.
So that's that. Kuiper put out a mock. And so are we both in the camp of that the Browns are taking either one of 2 positions at number 6 if they stay there? Receiver or offensive lineman?
Yes.
Yeah. Just depends on where they want to do it because they're picking again at 24. And so you just said it's a deep wide receiver draft. And my feeling is, so Kuiper has them taking an offensive tackle out of Georgia, that they're hitting the reset button on their offensive line, and they traded for Tyvis Howard, and then they signed Zion Johnson and another player, and they re-signed somebody else, and all of a sudden, DeJuan Jones coming back from a season-ending knee injury, and this would be trying to piece that puzzle together. The only thing that would come into play here is if the top receiver on their board is Carnell Tate, and he's there at 6, then they're going to have a debate. They're going to have a debate between, and this is the obvious debate, is the receiver we get at 24, how far apart is he from our top receiver on our board?
Right.
Versus if we get a lineman there, how far do we drop at 24 with the lineman?
The offensive line group this year is a huge question mark to me because I feel like this Freeland guy that Mel Kiper has at 6 to Cleveland is a good-looking player. He's got the physical attributes. He doesn't have a ton of experience, and that's a hell of a learning curve coming into the league playing offensive line. The other guys that I like, Maui Noah from Miami is a great example of this. He was a right tackle in college, and I think he probably projects the best as a guard in the NFL, right? Like, I don't know if you're looking for like an elite premier tackle. This probably doesn't feel like the draft. So to me, if you're torn between do we draft a tackle at 6 or do we draft a wide receiver, I'm actually leaning toward wide receiver because I like that. I like that value better at that spot compared to 24. Like maybe there are some guys in an offensive line class that doesn't have that headliner for me that I feel more comfortable with at 24.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
That means that the answer becomes if we can't land an offensive tackle at 6 for the Browns, that is an absolute difference maker. We have to compare that to what the space is between those positions at 6 and 24. And Carnell Tate is one of those that certainly would step in and be a big help to Shedeur. I'm not saying you got to block for him.
Right.
He doesn't have a rocket arm. Shedeur's not that guy he's not Josh Allen. He's not going to take off and make sure you can move the chains that even if he doesn't have a guy. He's prone also to a little bit of playground that he's worked out of it a little bit.
He holds the ball.
Yep. And he takes a lot of unnecessary sacks. And I mean, most people would agree that if you're gonna build around him, I think the question becomes whoever they get, I don't know if they're truly thinking of building around Shedeur. I think this is partial. That's why I teased it the way.
Yeah.
Like one of these positions, they both help Shedeur. A receiver's going to help him, but is Shedeur going to be the guy?
I think it helps everybody, though. Like, whoever would be the guy in the future would appreciate having a better offensive line than what they had a year ago and more weapons than what they had a year ago. So I think this is the gauge if he is your guy, but if he's not, you drop another dude in there and feel like everybody around him is better than what Shedeur had coming in the door anyway.
Yeah. No one's really projecting any trades when you look at these mocks right now. I don't think there are too many. And if the Browns do take a receiver at 6, there's a chance then they would move up if they think a lineman, a tackle, is not going to be there at 24. And they would certainly have the ammunition to do that. And that's probably where I see this going. The other thing, you did mention how deep this wide receiver class is. And they could probably, because you know what, on CBS Sports and Kuiper's mock, they both have him taking the same tackle at 6, Freeling from Georgia, that he's the most prototypical left tackle in the class. And he's been playing really well since he became a starter. And the Browns are ultra desperate in help there. So if you go down the line and look at the receivers now, are you a Jordan Tyson guy, or is injury history scare you a little bit?
The injury history scares me just a little bit, but I think he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll probably be there.
Yeah.
At 24. Or if they think that, because I don't believe that anybody really above them might do that. I mean, maybe the Chargers could. I guess the Eagles could if A.J. Brown is history. And, boy, that is going to be very interesting to me where the Browns go at 6, because I think they're going to have pretty much their pick of receiver at 6.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going receiver at 6, like they're getting the guy that they want the most, in my opinion, right? But again, and this goes to the question that you asked before. I know there are a lot of people that would say that Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, and Mekhi Lemon, like you could put them in a bag and just draw one, and that's the guy that you feel like is the guy. You hear a mixed bag on who they think is the best wide receiver out of that group. So if you think Mekhi Lemon's going to be there because he's a small dude who had the weird demeanor at the combine, if you think he's going to be there at 24 and you're like, this is a dude, then maybe you end up saying we've got to get the offensive lineman, because there's one dude who is the prototype tackle, and the rest of these guys are kind of like, they're good, but they all have their warts.
Yeah, my instinct right now is to take offensive line. It just, with the way we just kind of talked it through with other receivers, I'm not saying the sexy position is take a receiver.
No doubt.
And there's a few really good ones here in the first round. Like I said, they could move up, but I think if you skip on Freeling, if he is truly the best tackle in the draft, if you skip on him, and I'm looking down Kuiper's mock right now, the next one is the kid out of Miami. And
Francis Maui Noah.
So he's there, and there's another offensive, Spencer Fano. Yep, they got him at 14. So
the Freeling thing is so intriguing to me, because people
Proctor from Alabama.
They weren't talking. Proctor is going to get somebody fired, in my opinion, but they weren't talking about Freeling like he was a guy when the season ended. Like, this was basically like post-combine, he's now the top tackle. That scares me a little bit. Like, what wasn't there on the tape that you watched in the fall?
You're saying Proctor was a little inconsistent?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I've got some issues were a mess. Yeah.
That's a dysfunctional offensive line.
They were pretty much a mess, especially late in the year. All right, we're going to come back in 2 minutes, and we'll spin the wheel of Buckeye, the safest versus the riskiest in the draft's mind. We'll tell you next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Hey, Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years, and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer, and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Matty Ice here, ready to run toward incredible savings. Get set for the 37th annual Marathon Mania at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion, March 20th and the 21st only. Select new and used vehicles are priced at invoice, but that's not all. Every hour they slash prices even more, taking an additional $50 off. They're also staying open later and giving you more time to score the deal of a lifetime. And don't miss offers like $12,000 off MSRP on the 26 Silverado 1500 for qualified buyers. McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion, Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, kids. Anthony once did magic for birthday parties. See, when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound so bad. Back to Rothman and Ice.
Almost magically got my bank account fleeced yesterday. I still think he was going for the Venmo, just to drain the Venmo and then transfer that. But I never really strung him along
that's
enough.
That's small peanuts, small potatoes.
Yeah, but trying to get into somebody's. I mean, you're right. If I was,
these are scammers.
So
they're
moronic
going
that
for they're
but
thinking
I would end
that
up giving him my actual.
They're thinking you're about 72 years old, new-ish to technology, and you got Venmo, so you can send your grandkids a couple $100 so they could party on the weekend.
Yeah, but I was selling a golf club.
Yeah, that's an old people hobby.
I would think that these scammers are all over Facebook.
They're everywhere.
Anyone that's selling anything, and this is probably a scam they run. If you just joined us, if you're ever selling something on Facebook Marketplace, I guess, or anywhere, and someone says they'll Venmo you the money without getting the product yet, and they'll pick it up later, that should be a red flag immediately. That it's not done after they visually see what they're getting before they pay for it. And so that's it. And number two, if they say, hey, I've been trying to send you the money and it's not going through, clearly it's something wrong on your end, call the customer service.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, let me spoon feed you the number because they're sending this back to me.
That's what I told my wife. I'm like, how do they know that my Zelle is the issue here? Like, Zelle's not telling them that. So maybe they were trying to get into the Venmo, but then they were going to transfer themselves money from your bank account that's connected to the Venmo.
Oh, to that Venmo, and then...
Yeah, they were going to go into your Venmo and then Venmo themselves the money that's in your bank.
Right. Drain all that into the Venmo, and now they got the Venmo. Is there a password on Venmo? Is that how I
they were definitely
set this up?
They were going to change your password.
Yeah. No, there's not.
Well, there's a password to like create an account, but like you don't have to put it in every time you make a transaction.
No. This is what happened when everybody said to me, hey, I can't believe you're still using PayPal. And I go, I don't use it that much, but I have it. And then everyone said, that's a dinosaur. You got to get on Zelle or Venmo or whatever. And I'm like, nah, I don't want that. And I finally said, everyone's doing Venmo. I might as well have it.
The whole PayPal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because that's, I guess
I
that
use PayPal, but not for person to person
goods and services.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the riskiest versus safest. So TLC, we'll bring him in on this because I didn't know, we didn't do this poll, or maybe the station did. Maybe the Fan did this poll not long ago. And so he went back and looked at this. Did you not?
No, I did.
All right. So we're going to guess. I don't know the answer to this.
The poll was among Ohio State's top 4 NFL draft prospects, who would you consider to be the safest pick? And the options being Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate. So
my riskiest.
Each listener obviously only has one vote. So who do you think was voted as the safest draft choice? And what do you think the distribution was?
So the mocks give us some help with this, but I would say, in my opinion, that the safest pick, highest floor, to me, is Caleb.
Agreed.
I could be talked into Carnell, but it's obviously a much different position, and it's difficult for me to say because Carnell Tate is not going to lose his ability to catch a football.
No.
He's not. And Caleb, I feel like, is so versatile and so physical and can do so much. I feel like he's got a high floor. Maybe I'm wrong on this. All right, so we're gonna tag team this answer. So we're both gonna say it's Caleb. Now we have to come up with a percentage.
I'm gonna say that over 50% of people would have said Caleb. His whole thing is about how safe he is. The only question is, like, does he come into the league and he's basically the same player for all 10 or 12 years or however long he plays? I think he'll play for a long time. But there was never a question of, like, yeah, he's going to come into the league and be great. That's a given.
All right, so we're both going to go Caleb Downs as the safest Buckeye. And this is split over 100%, right? We got 4 guys to divvy this up to.
It's a percentage thing.
Do we get him over 50? He's got to be the answer. And I think Carnell would be a close second. So, but we have to have some percentage. We have to leave some rest of this key lime pie for the rest.
They got the rest of the 50.
All right, so we going, what are we going to say, 55%? Does that sound right?
I would go with that.
All right.
Close enough for music.
I'll lean with JP. It is Caleb.
I'll read them bottom up.
It's my theme music.
If we had theme music for Josh, we'd have played it too. But I'll read them bottom up. So at 5.9%, Arvell Reese.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, see, now if you would have asked me that question.
Riskiest?
I would have had it as Sonny.
No. I would have gone with Arvell for risk.
Really?
I feel like I'm struggling with this too. Where does he play? Because he wasn't a full-time rusher in college, but I like him as a rusher. If you play him off ball, I still think that his game is raw and he needs to continue to learn and develop.
He played off ball here.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I think in the league, his game would still be raw as an off ball linebacker. So to me, there's some risk there of if you move him to edge full time, you don't know what that is. And off the ball, I still think he's got a lot more room to grow than a guy like Sonny, who I think is a little bit more finished. So I would have said he's the riskiest.
Higher ceiling, though.
Oh, higher ceiling to me is Arvell.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so we agree there.
So he was in the basement at 5.9%.
Arvell was.
Yes. Ooh. Just barely above him, Carnell was 6.5%.
Wow, look at you.
No, I
know. They disagree.
That's third place. So second place would be Sonny with 11.1%. That leaves Caleb Downs at 76.5%.
Oh, well, we were very low on that.
Yeah.
So far and away voted by our listeners as the safest of the 4.
I'm surprised like Sonny didn't get a little bit. Carnell didn't get a little bit more love.
I'll say this, though. I like prodigies. Caleb Downs is a prodigy. Like Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, as talented as they are.
They're prodigious athletes. Caleb is
but they
prodigious.
had to switch positions midway through.
Yeah.
Caleb Downs was a game one, day one. And I'm pretty sure, I think it was Terrion Arnold on his podcast with Pat Surtain said that like the very first practice Caleb Downs showed up at Alabama, he was lined up with the ones. Like,
well,
I like prodigies.
Yeah.
Caleb Downs is that.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
I like guys who we are waiting for them to become eligible for the draft, not guys who we had to be convinced along the way.
Well, I feel you on that. The Carnell is, I think for us, we look at it so different than NFL people look at him because we just know what he is. We watched him run all the routes. We watched his catchability, all those different things. And I think people in the NFL just go back to this. Well, he wasn't wide receiver 1 at Ohio State. Like Jeremiah isn't generational. He wasn't playing with like a whole bunch of other guys that were legit freaks along the way. And I think that's where people have this like nervousness about him is when he has to be the guy and he's the show and he's wide receiver 1. He's getting all the targets. Can he handle that amount of work in the NFL compared to his role in college where he was always wide receiver 2, getting the one-on-one matchup and not the coverage rolled his way?
I think to TLC's point, Carnell Tate did not become a household name till late, and he was always being overshadowed. But I pointed out very early this year that if he was wearing a number 4 and you didn't know, if they swapped jerseys, people would have been duped.
Just to put in the program.
If you didn't know what he looked like and they swapped jerseys this year, you would have said, that is Jeremiah Smith.
You know, one guy who loved Carnell was Gus Johnson. If you watched him,
He loves most Buckeyes.
I know, but just the way he would talk about him, I feel like he was promoting him before other people were ready to promote him.
He was making circus catches this year.
It's ridiculous.
That if his name was Jeremiah Smith, he would have been up for the Heisman.
I'm totally with you. And to me, things that translate is, can you run routes, which he does. And he's got great awareness of where to actually run the route. And then he catches the football through traffic. We've also seen him get open. My one thing about Marv is Marv always felt like he was covered and would just make ridiculous catches. I've seen Carnell get open. And you can throw the 40 time at me, all these different things. Like, his game translates to me.
Yeah, I'm glad. By the way, I'm glad you brought up the 40 time, because that's going to be something that he's going to have to make sure that for some people. I'm not saying that he won't get drafted
I think
in the top half of the first round, but
the stupidest thing in the world. It's 4.53, 4.5, and 4.47 are basically all 4.5. They're cousins of each other. One cousin might be a little bit more handsome than the other one. But it's all the same time to me.
Mole, Freckles, ugly cousin.
And so if he runs a 4.49, let's say, people are like, oh, he ran a 4.4, he's fast. He runs a 4.53, and all of a sudden it's like, well, he's a little bit slower than we thought. Shut up. Watch the tape.
Like a 4.53 isn't close enough to tackle a 4.47.
By the way, it's still fast. There's a lot of receivers playing today that ran similar times at the combine that get open all the time.
We pointed this out, too. There are some legendary receivers that were very slow in a straight line 40.
How do you feel about the 3-cone drill?
This is a conversation for a different day about the testing. I've got a whole thing about it.
Got 3 hours.
Some work, some don't, right? I mean, we've seen some guys just kill strength-wise that never make it in the NFL. It's not a strongman contest.
No.
It's not a track and field event. But it's, for some people, it's a tiebreaker. It makes them sleep better at night knowing that maybe they have the fastest of them all. All right, we're going to come back with Party Like a Roth Star, who had some great weekends. We'll line them up next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
At Low T Center, we're extending our New Year's promos to give you the new start you need. If you've been feeling exhausted and have lost your sex drive, book a free testosterone test at Low T Center. Pick up discounted peptides and GLP-1s while you're there. Low T Center is the most trusted name in TRT for a reason. Highest quality testosterone covered by insurance and tailored to you so you know that it's effective. This deal won't last forever, so call or head to lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com and book your TRT appointment today.
There's an old story about cat toys that's been retold for over 20 years because it perfectly explains who we are. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Years ago, a couple who shared their house with 3 cats had another company out to look at their furnace. After working on it, the technician said it was dangerous and had to be replaced. The couple called Care for a second opinion, and my dad Mike went out to help them. When he inspected the furnace, the cause of the problem became obvious. A cat toy had been stuffed into the heat exchanger. With the toy removed, the furnace ran perfectly. Now, how did the toy get there? You can decide for yourself, but here's what mattered then and still matters now. The first company paid commissions to their service techs to sell new furnaces. At Care, we pay our technicians to fix furnaces, not sell you a new one. And if a new furnace is needed, our team of replacement specialists will advise you on all options available and help you make your best choice. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending, the original home of the no closing cost mortgage. With interest rates at their lowest level in 4 years, what's stopping you from taking advantage? Maybe it's the thousands of dollars in closing cost? Well, what if I told you that those costs aren't required and that you decide whether to sacrifice $15,000 to $20,000 of equity at closing or zero? At Miller Lending, we're all about zero and have been offering no-cost loans since 1987. With no title closing or origination fees, imagine having the freedom to refinance any time a lower rate becomes available or a need arises. Even 0.5% lower in rate results in savings of over $100,000 over the life of your loan. So why wait? No-cost loans are real and here to stay. Simply call Miller Lending and see why thousands of satisfied clients have made that choice to say goodbye to closing costs forever. 877-9-NO-COST. That's 877-9-NO-COST. Or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. If you've opened that energy bill lately and thought there's got to be a better way, there is. Drafty, outdated windows can drain your wallet month after month, letting warm air escape in the winter, cool air leak out in the summer, and forcing your HVAC system to work overtime. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. They'll take care of you. Buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limits. Plus, 24 months with no payments and no interest. Call 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com.
Last year, I had back pain radiating down my right leg. The pain was so bad I was willing to cut my leg off to stop the pain. I could barely walk and had to stoop over when I did just to take pressure off the spine. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. In my professional career, I've represented thousands of people who've had herniated discs and issues with their neck and back, but never fully appreciated what they were going through until it was my turn. It's like trying to describe colors to a blind person who's never had sight. All I can tell you is it hurt like hell, but worse. My daily walk was gone, and that bothered me a great deal. Then I thought of all of you and how much more devastating this type of injury could be for you. My life stopped. I now feel your pain. Just know at Morgan & Morgan, we got your back. I understand. Morgan means more.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh, no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a Roth star.
All right, by the way, floor is yours coming up top of the hour. Calling the TLC, getting that Q, 821-9710, and rant away. Maybe there's some people out there that got almost scammed like I did. Tell us your story.
The near scam.
Yeah. All right, Your Honor. Who do you like this week?
All right, well, first one, I'm going to go with Steve Kerr, 600 win in the association. I have, over the years, become a bit of an NBA fan because I hate myself in a lot of ways. But, like, he's one of those guys, I think, in the modern era where it's like, who are the legends of coaching? You know, we all knew about Phil and some of the other guys, Pat Riley, coming up. But he's one where I feel like he has, since Pop has left the game, kind of taken the lead as one of the voices and the guys that people listen to. But also a lot of success up there in Golden State, so I wanted to shout that out. The other one that came to mind for me, did you see the memorabilia auction of Jim Irsay's stuff?
He's got a lot of weird stuff, collection of different artists, right?
Yes. So a lot of rock and roll. Yeah. He's got different guitars. He's sports memorabilia. He had Ollie's robe. They sold some of it. $93 million.
The kids did.
Yeah.
Because that's what Dad would have wanted.
Well, this is what I said, because me and my friend got into an argument about this. Number one, if my dad had a collection like that, love you, Jim, but like if you're giving it to me, what, you want me to open a museum? Like, no, that's $93 million.
He wants you to pass it on to your children.
For what? These are your things
investment
that you liked. I'm going to invest the $93 million. And I would tell my son, if I ever amass a collection like that one day and then I kick the bucket, sell it. Sell it. Keep what you want. Go get the money. Go get the money.
Right.
So they're partying. I know that much.
That's pretty awesome. All right, I'll come back to the tournament a little bit. Well, shout out to Akron for sure. They won the MAC title in the final seconds, and first team to win 3 straight MAC tourney titles. So they'll get Texas Tech on Friday, and so I'll give them an honorable mention. But for me, it's Hofstra. Hofstra's back in the dance for the first time in decades, since 2001. They haven't made the tournament. That's a long drought. We're talking about like a mini drought here at Ohio State. 2001. I'm not comparing Hofstra to Ohio State, but maybe I should. And I would say that this freshman, Preston Edmeade, who sank basically a near buzzer beater in overtime in Washington, D.C., he's a freshman, banked home a game winner. Like, there was a lot of luck involved in that shot, but 26 points. They win the CAA, and Hofstra, they got canceled during COVID, and they're now led by Speedy Claxton. So I'm going to give it to Hofstra getting in the dance for the first time in 25 years. And TLC, do you have a bracket in front of you? I don't even know who they play on Friday.
Well, that was lucky. I do.
Where's Hofstra? By the way, you're going to need a magnifying glass probably to find.
Yeah, what seed are they?
That's a good question. They're in. That's all I know for the first time. Oh, they play Bama.
Yeah.
All right, so they're a 13. They play Bama on Friday at 3:15. So I'll go with Hofstra as mine. Second one for me is I told you guys I watched the golf on Sunday right into the selection show, and there's the guy that won, Cam Young, 28 years old, played at Wake Forest. He's finished top 10 in every major, all the majors. He's finished top 10. Top 5 in 3 of them. And you want to talk about a guy who probably had set himself up for life in a way just of going after something. So I looked this back up. So in 2017, almost 10 years ago, he won the New York State Open, which was at Bethpage Black. So he's the first amateur to win that event in the history. And he couldn't accept the money. He was an amateur. And it was about 17 grand. And I guess after he won the tournament, he said, basically, don't worry, the check's going to be a lot bigger someday.
Well, there you go.
Like he wasn't worried about it. So guess what? He breaks through at the Players. He makes birdie at the island hole. So the island hole is number 17. Everybody knows. Probably the most pressure shot in golf. I'm trying to think of another shot in golf right now that has more pressure attached to it than 17 at Sawgrass. Island green, 137 yards it was playing on Sunday. Wind was whipping. It was downhill too, or downwind. And he hit it to 9 feet and he made the putt, made the birdie. So he tied it up. And then he wins with a par at 18 when he hit a 375-yard drive, which was downwind. But the check is bigger than 17 grand this time. It's $4.5 million.
Ain't bad.
And he's also now moving up to the number 4 ranked golfer in the world, Cam Young. Party like a Roth star.
All right.
And the final one I'll throw in is look out for the Dallas Stars. I know they lost Monday. They won 15 games in a row with at least a point. They've won 14 of 15, including 10 in a row. They got the second best power play in the league and a top 10 penalty kill. And they got 2 goal scorers that are top 6. And they probably have a couple 40 goal scorers before it's all said and done. They 2 goalies that are over 900 save percentage. I grabbed Dallas at 16-1 about 3 weeks ago to win it all. I don't know what they are currently, but I would say they've been partying pretty well lately, and I would look out for them. Let me give you a future and see if it's any better than when I got them. A little better. They're 12-1 now. I got them at 16-1. All right. Anybody else on your radar?
Not on my radar.
All right. I'm just going to party today because of the scammers didn't get me. It was a good thing.
That is a reason to celebrate. You got to keep your antennas up, man.
Yeah. TLC, you ever been walked down close to getting scammed, email, click on something, anything out of the ordinary?
I got a pretty good radar on that. The one thing that did kind of get me, we had those, when it became kind of a trend on social media of those like AI wrestling videos of random celebrities. The very first one of like Tupac and Biggie actually kind of fooled me for like two-thirds of the video.
You didn't have to send them any money.
No.
But you're susceptible to AI scams.
Yeah, if I get a text from a phone number, we just got an email from something that was like some sort of phishing scam. I think it was a test.
Oh.
I passed it. I deleted it and didn't bother with it.
There you go.
But I got a pretty good gauge on that at this point. It's just I feel like with my generation, I'm tech savvy enough to pick up on stuff that's like a little bit out of the ordinary. And so that kind of puts your antennas up a little bit. But we had one back here where, you know, here in the offices, listening to a phone call where everybody but one person knew that it was a robot on the other end. And unfortunately, no, the phone call didn't go anywhere, so no one gave up any personal information. But, you know, when you're having a phone call and you can hear the recorded voice and there's about a 5-second gap between what you say and when the recording starts to play, you can tell that it's not somebody, not a human being on the other end.
You know, the issue with that, though, is a lot of companies are using AI agents, and that's the cadence of a phone call. So if you can't tell the difference then it's partially on you. But like, there are legitimate reasons that you would have the long pause. I'm so skeptical of all this stuff. It's crazy.
I was talking to a customer service agent not long ago. I told you guys on the air, and it took me about 30 seconds to know I wasn't talking to a human being.
That's a long time. Because usually I can get it within probably the first 5. Yeah. But I mean, dude, this was like a 4.
Well, her voice, she had a nice voice.
I had one of those phishing scams came from
like a lane on the tape recorder.
Like 30 seconds. It was a pleasant voice.
I tried to give you a Seinfeld reference.
Yeah. No, that was good. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
We're up against the clock here. You know, I'm a little distracted.
Came from a law office that I was working with at the time. And like, that's the stuff that you got to be ready for.
You told me a story before the show that I never even thought about. I'll tell you at the top of the hour. We have the floor is yours. 821-9710 is the number, and we'll hand it off to you next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan.
The nightmare of the cleared drain. Those drain clearing specials from the other guys seem like a great deal until you realize the only thing really going down your drain is your money. At the Waterworks, we mean clean. Our service doesn't just clear your drains, it cleans them too. It's done right the first time, so that nightmare of a drain becomes a dream come true. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call 614-232-2222 to get started.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With a center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
You got it at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13, and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission. No cash access and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
For more than 25 years, Brothers Roofing and Construction has been serving Central Ohio with dependable roofing, siding, and exterior repairs. We do the job right. We communicate effectively and stand behind our work. So when quality matters, call Brothers Roofing and Construction.
Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should. No takers? Yeah, I didn't think so. Ongoing pain makes you feel older than you are, but here's the good news. QC Kinetics patients right here in Columbus, they're getting relief right now, feeling younger and jumping back into life full speed ahead, and that didn't happen in an operating room. My friend Dr. Ray Tesner and his team use the latest regenerative treatments backed by real science. Treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your body, concentrate them right where you need the relief the most. This is how I was treated. I had a knee issue. I went in there. We had a consultation. I went through a series of treatments. And you know what? After a handful of months, my knee started feeling better and better until I was able to get out there and do the things I loved again. It's all true. It's all real. The sooner you get started, the sooner your inflammation eases and the sooner you'll start feeling better again. So find out if you're a candidate at your free consultation at qckinetics.com/Columbus or 380-208-4544.
Spring is hatching at the Columbus Zoo. Join us April 3rd and 4th for Eggs, Paws, and Claws. Snap a pic with the Easter Bunny, meet Egbert, roll into Shelley's Celebration, and crack the clues in the Explore and Find. It's 2 extra fun days you won't want to miss. Get your discounted tickets at Kroger.
At Germain Honda of Dublin, they get it. Nobody grows up dreaming of driving a minivan, but it's hard to argue with unbeatable versatility. Enter the Honda Odyssey, packed with space, comfort, and family-friendly features that make life easier. And if you want efficiency, Germain Honda has you covered with great incentives on hybrid favorites like the CR-V, the Civic, and the Accord. Shop Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road just south of 270 and at GermainHondaofDublin.com.
The Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus is the place to be for all the basketball action. Watch every game at once on 2 video walls spanning 50 feet, plus over 30 TVs. Come show off your jump shot in our King of the Court drawings and take home memorabilia from a Cleveland basketball legend. We've also got unbeatable game day food and drinks all season long. Guarantee your spot. Reserve a table with up to $300 in dining credits at HollywoodColumbus.com. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If your garage floor has stains, cracks, or even the dreaded bad epoxy job, maybe one you tried to do yourself, maybe one you paid for and it didn't work out, it can make your entire garage look bad. Let's be honest about it. And maybe those botched garage floor coatings that you've had in the past have put you off of ever getting it fixed. Well, my friends, let me tell you, the people at Comer & Cross Concrete Floor Coatings want you to know there is a fix out there. They can make your garage floor gleaming, glistening, look like a new car showroom. You call Comer & Cross at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, and they will come out with their pros, no subcontractors, and install a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor in just one day. Yeah, this floor is guaranteed to never chip, crack, or even show tire lift like epoxy or paint can. Never going to have that problem with Comer & Cross. Call them today, 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. It's that easy. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or you go to comercross.com. That's C-O-M-E-R cross.com. Get a new garage floor with Comer & Cross Concrete Floor Coatings today.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Per reports, the Dolphins are trading receiver Jalen Waddle in a fourth-round pick to the Broncos for first, third, and fourth-round picks. He totaled over 5,000 receiving yards with Miami. NHL tonight, Blue Jackets host the Hurricanes at 7. Here to the fans starting at 6:30. NBA Cavs visit the Bucks at 8. College hoops NCAA tournament first four starts tonight in Dayton as 16 seeds UMBC and Howard clash at 6:40. Then 11 seeds Texas and NC State battle at 9:15. College football, Bowling Green head coach Eddie George hired former OSU teammate Lorenzo Styles Sr. as a senior analyst and defensive line coach for the Falcons. Styles, father of former Buckeyes Sonny and Lorenzo, last coached in 2012 as head coach of the United Indoor Football League's Marion Blue Raiders. This update sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co., locally inspired dishes and award-winning cocktails. Visit highbankco.com to make your reservation. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Want to jinx your favorite sports team?
Please get out of my Van Halen t-shirt before you jinx the band and they break up.
Just ask Maddie to print your shirts. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, the floor is yours, 821-9710. We'll hit the lineup here in a second. So the scam that you told me about, which I didn't even think about, and that's why we're all very susceptible to all of this, is because we're not the scammers.
Mm-hmm.
We're not the ones who think like this. And when they catch you either at an emotional time or an emergency or off guard, like when this guy said to me, there's something wrong on your end, you need to call customer service. What goes through my mind is, wow, maybe there is something wrong. Like, you're
sure.
I'm trying to, not go on the attack and on the offensive. Even though he did accuse me of raising my voice at him, which is, by the way, the instant red flag. These customer service agents, a lot of them are the most patient people in the world.
Sure.
They're there to, their stock 7-iron response to you isn't, hey, stop raising your voice at me. You know what theirs is? You know what? I understand your frustration.
Right.
Like
De-escalate.
Like you call in, like I still have cable. And so, it goes out all the time.
Uh-huh.
And so I call up Uvers all the time, and they're wherever it patches me through, and they're very nice. They're like, the first thing they say is, wow, that must be really frustrating. Let me do what I can to help you get back. And you're like, that's how you expect to be spoken to, not,
meanwhile,
hey, stop. Hey.
You had Mick Cronin on the other end.
Exactly. I should have, the first, and I don't know if he answered the phone, hello, but it was more like, it wasn't, hi, you've reached Venmo customer service. And maybe that's their plan, too, is not to lay it on too thick.
Right.
But either way. But you told me about this. So, and I never thought about this. In the AI world, someone can take your voice and then spoof it or whatever and do whatever and then call up your mom and dad or your wife. And I don't know what they could do. They could type a script out for your voice to say, I've been in a car accident.
Common Man does it all the time. Yeah. He takes Tyvis's voice, puts into AI, and has him tell a story on the radio all the time. So when you get a call and you don't hear anything coming from the other end, you're sitting there, hello, hello, hello. They'll take that of your voice, create the AI thing with it, and then they'll spoof your number, call your mom, your dad. Hey, I'm in trouble. I had an accident. I'm stuck somewhere, and I need $500. Can you send it to me? And then they'll scam them out of it like that. It's crazy.
My uncle got that. He did the same. It wasn't an AI voice,
right?
But it was the same call. It was a nephew. He had been in an accident, and either wouldn't have been in jail. He would have been, I don't know. He needed something. It was a lot more than 500 too.
Yeah.
And make sure it's in the thousands, but less than 10.
Right.
Somehow. So you can either mail it or it slides in under the IRS's watchful eye. All right. Who's batting leadoff today for us? And the floor is yours.
Go to New Albany. Talk to Sean.
Sean, my man, you have the floor. It's all yours.
AR, JP, hope you guys are having a great St. Patty's Day with this wonderful weather we're having. Just wanted to disagree with you one thing, man. Oh, it's your old Rapallo's buddy, too, AR. But anyway, Island Green, fantastic. But, man, that 16th hole at TPC Scottsdale, the Coliseum, you got 20,000 blackouts booing you if you don't get it close, man. That's got to be right up there.
All right, so that's more for ego pressure. That's because there's so many places to miss there. Like that green's massive. You're right. If you miss the green, you're getting boozed. But I can't imagine. I've had people, Sean, friends of mine that have paid the money to play TPC Sawgrass, which I haven't. I think it's like $750 now, essentially, to play one hole.
Jeez.
It feels like. And I guess if you make par there, if you hit the green, they give you a nice bag tag that's etched and all that. But I can't imagine, and I know it's not a long shot. The only shot that I could think of that was comparable was number 12 at Muirfield here on Sunday with that right pin. Because if you draw the ball,
dunk.
Yeah, we had a dunk there. If you draw the ball at 12, then you have to lay it out over the pond. If you're long, you're in a back trap. That's a nightmare. Short, if you're not in that trap, you're wet. Like 12 at Memorial on a Sunday, to me, is one of the tough ones. I'm not talking about, like, pressure because it's the first hole at the Masters and I better hit the fairway.
Sure.
I'm talking about the pressure if you miss,
can't miss
what the result is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Like, different types of pressure, but the idea of the amount of precision it would take in that scenario, and it's like, I got to give it all I got. And we all know how hard that game is, so.
The other pressure shot is whatever the only par 4 at Wilson Road, when you have to time your swing before some car or truck comes by and just blast their horn in your backswing. That is the most pressure shot in the city is probably that one.
Oh, my God.
All right, who's up next?
Danny's in Delaware.
Danny in Delaware. Your dime, your dance floor.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, boys. It's the holiday of my people, where they drink Irish whiskey and smoke green doobies and try to chase after a freaking leprechaun. Either way, boys, I do have some bad news. I am not going to be here next week, unfortunately. I'm going to have to use a PTO day. TLC, I will try to find a plant to cover for me. It might be Mikey and Medina. It might be Cody and Callie. It might be Eric and Evans. Actually, no, he's a flake. Never mind. Either way.
Maybe we can AI your voice. Maybe we can AI your voice. Who's we?
That's perfect. If you guys want to do that for me next week, just make sure, it follows suit with Danny in Delaware every week. I'd appreciate it. But I am very disappointed in myself that I can't make it. I really was actually looking forward to being the intern of the year, especially ever since Vaughn called in last week with his 15-minute Buccaneers take. I mean, my grandpa does live in
He's
Naples,
on deck, so look out.
He's what?
I said he's on deck, so look out.
Yeah, you're protecting him. You have to get on base.
You're the opening act.
Yeah. Well, my grandpa lives in Naples, so I'm sure he will appreciate his takes. But here in Ohio, let's save it for Ohio stuff, not Georgia, not Tampa Bay. We live in Ohio. Anyways, I digress. U.S., they robbed the Dominicans in the World Baseball Classic. I will say I had a joke for this, but I didn't want to get banned from your show, so I am going to refrain from that. But I am putting the home equity line on the Ohio State Buckeyes to at least make it to the Sweet 16 in the tournament. I'm not talking about the men's team. I'm talking about the women's team. So Let's go, Lady Buckeyes. Aaron go, brah. Ireland forever.
Well done, man. First of all, he mentioned he ripped on Vaughn for not keeping it in Ohio. He could have gone Ohio Dominican, and he didn't do it. It was right there on a tee for him.
That was pretty good.
He spent the first 3 minutes of that call just talking about what he's not doing next week. Excellent.
Wanted to prepare our listeners.
I guess.
They were not the disclaimer.
Apparently make me do the preparation as you guys are all hatching this idea. Hey, we should get your voice on AI. Who's we? I know who that's getting dropped off in front of.
Preparation H. That is you. Vaughn,
you talk about whatever you want to.
You got to follow that up, my man.
Hey, how you guys doing? First and foremost, great day. How you guys doing?
Great, Vaughn. Good to hear from you.
Excellent.
I just want to contend that every time I speak on one of my teams, it's in relation to what you guys are already talking to. When we're talking about the best college teams and we're talking about the Buckeyes, and you guys say something about Georgia, then I bring up Georgia. We also start this call with, hey, Vaughn, are you a Georgia fan or Ohio State fan today? So I just don't get the Danny and Delaware. Yeah, I don't know if we get I don't get the hate. Then he says, hey, let's keep it Ohio, but USA robbed the Dominican Republic. Okay, let's take the whole country after we say let's keep it Ohio. But let's stay on the World Baseball Classic. I don't know if you guys are going to talk about it. I am interested. These lineups got a lot of pop. And I'm trying to look at these odds, AR. I know you're really good with the odds. That plus 215 for Venezuela is so juicy, but it feels like I'm betraying everybody. But the plus 1.5 is just so low. And then I want to take Venezuela like 4 or 5. I think they really can get the runs off the pitcher, even if USA scores 6 or 7, but they don't even offer it on a lot of these apps.
That would be a lot for us. We have not been scoring that many runs. And it just feels like everyone is leaning that once the USA got out of group play, once they kind of navigated that, and then this close game, that feels like a foregone conclusion. I'm not going to deny that the value is there in a one-gamer. Like I always lean that way when there's value. It is the ultimate mental hedge. Like if you want the USA to win and you're getting all that value on Venezuela, then I really don't have a huge problem with it. On ours right now, it's plus 210, so you're getting over double your money to take Venezuela in a one-gamer. I really don't mind that. And, we're not talking about putting, like Danny said, his home line of equity.
Well, here's the thing, though. I say that if you're putting big bucks on it, that makes sense. I think if you're betting like $5 or $10, then that's betrayal. Because what? That $21 that you're going to make from Venezuela's victory, that's not going to do anything for you. At that point, just root for the USA and leave it at that.
But no one's trying to get rich in this stuff. It's all about keeping your account afloat.
No one?
And not, well, no, I shouldn't say no one, but I think most people, including me, are people that use this as entertainment, and the last thing I want to do is redeposit. So it's like if I can keep my account afloat, here's what I really like to do this time of year. I like to try to pair it with stuff. So if it lives, then you're getting real value. Like I would take you could grab Sunjae Im at the Masters at 90-1 and pair him with Venezuela, and if they win, now you have a massive lottery ticket at the Masters.
Right.
Like that's kind of what I do, but I'm with you on the value, man. Good call.
Yeah, I'm a big Acuna guy. And just one more thing on JP, you're right. Carnell, he doesn't need the speed. He's like a Devontae Adams, JSN. They use their shoulders. They create separation. Those tests really don't do anything but eye candy. Yes, Xavier Worthy can separate a yard down the field, but can he catch the ball? Not all the time. We really understand as people who play, well, I ain't play like you. But people who play that sport.
It's all right, man. It's a good call, Vaughn.
That's a good one, yeah.
I was calling him either Von Bell, Von Dunbar. Who cares? He's our Von. Good call. That's the floor is yours for today. We're going to come back. Mahomes has his backup quarterback, but it was almost a different one. We'll tell you that when we come back. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners, only 30 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. That great Pepsi taste with even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
Fall is a season of change, and Hinderer Motor Company is turning over a new leaf with big savings. This is Justin Hinderer. Right now, any one of our participating locations is paying up to $3,500 over Kelley Blue Book value. That's right. Drive in your current vehicle and leaf with one of ours today. Don't wait. The leaves are falling and so are the prices. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Spring is right around the corner, and we bet you're excited for warmer weather. But as the temperatures rise, make sure your energy bills don't. Keep those cooling costs low with Window Nation's high-quality, energy-efficient products. Simply request a consultation where their experts will visit your home, spot problem areas, and make recommendations. Your customized windows can be installed in a day. Once completed, your home will be shielded from outside hot air while you remain cool and comfortable inside throughout the spring and summer. With Window Nation, your house won't just look great, but you'll also have peace of mind. All of Window Nation's products are backed by a lifetime warranty. In fact, there's no better time to upgrade your home with Window Nation than right now. In March, the more you buy, the more savings you could enjoy. Up to 50% off all window styles. And be sure to ask about Window Nation's generous financing options, including $0 down, 0% interest for 60 months, and payments as little as $199 a month. Visit windownation.com today to schedule your free consultation. Once again, that's windownation.com.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
The Jackets are back in Nationwide for a battle with the Hurricanes. Live fan coverage starts Tuesday night at 6:30.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A chance of snow showers today, otherwise mostly cloudy skies and struggling to get into the low 30s with breezy winds. And then for tonight, partly cloudy overnight with lows in the 20s. For Wednesday, we do have a slight chance of snow showers turning into rain showers as we head into the afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be mostly cloudy and warmer with highs around 40 and breezy winds. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Anthony used to ski in his jeans? Are you serious? No, he's not from New Jersey. Back to Rothman Ice.
So a while back in 2021 or 5 years ago, I think it was 2021, I was doing the show and we were talking about Justin Fields. And Justin Fields was a really athletic quarterback, and a lot of people liked him. But the pushback that I was getting when we were doing comparisons to, is he the next Dak Prescott? Is he, the reason that I was getting a lot of pushback on it, and I wasn't touting him, I'm just saying that we all somewhat believed in him. I'm not going to lie and tell you that I knew that he wasn't going to make it or this and that. And there may be a lot of reasons that he hasn't made it through no fault of his own.
Sure.
Maybe his system, coaching, coordinator, who knows? But the pushback I would get didn't make sense to me. It was always like, well, name me an Ohio State quarterback that has made it.
Yeah, that's dumb.
All right. So that I wasn't buying into. I know there was a trend that Ohio State wasn't putting out NFL quarterbacks. But I wasn't going to buy into that. I'm like, is he tough? Yeah. Check the box. Is he I don't think he lost a Big Ten game as a starter. Like he wasn't he was pretty well accomplished. And he was a guy that we all felt needed to improve in a lot of areas, but we also felt like he's going to pick up the tough yards when you need it, and a lot of quarterbacks aren't willing to do that, and he keeps defenses honest because he can move. And I thought he had a good enough arm, and he had plenty of zip. We'd see him throw to the field side,
doubt.
And I thought he had it.
Yeah, he'd get it down the field. He did all that stuff.
Yeah, and so I brought up this was from a anonymous personnel executive for an NFL team. It says he was inconsistent in the COVID year, but I'm not going to hold that against him. We teach quarterbacks to read coverages and concepts, but they need to have innate leadership and poise, and we have to determine if he has those qualities. At that point, I thought he did. I thought he did have leadership and poise. I thought he was tough. He wasn't a guy that would kind of shy away from anything in a big game, and I thought his reads were pretty quality. So he's bounced around, and I don't think anybody was going to wish the Jets on anybody. Yeah. And so when New York, they changed. So Aaron Glenn gave it to who? Tyrod? I'm trying to think of where we are with the Jets. Anyways.
Yeah. Didn't they get Geno?
Do they have Geno now? Yeah, I think they do.
Jets? Yeah.
Yeah. So I go back, and I even forgot that Fields he's taken 11. He's had a few up and down years with the Bears. He had 3 of those. And I thought when he played for the Steelers, TLC Steelers, that he was playing well enough and they were winning. And when they made the change to go back to Russ, I thought, well, what does Tomlin know because he was 4-2 as a Steelers quarterback. And he had 10 touchdowns. And he had 1 pick.
Sure.
They weren't winning in spite of him. He had a lot to do with it. And so at that point, the alarm clock went off for me.
Oh, man.
That if Tomlin decided to move off of him when he was winning and when he was playing well, he either thought 2 things. That Russ gives me a much better chance to win, or I don't see a future in Justin, or both.
Yeah.
That alarm clock went off a long time ago. You can go to the next subject.
Yes. Thank you, Warren Sapp. So you tell me what you thought of Justin Fields when he was coming out.
So I always felt like Justin could be a great NFL quarterback. I like guys personally that have the ability to run. I think it's an important part of an offense, especially in the league, the way we see it played. They can improvise. We talked about the arm. The question that you always ask is, number one, right? Like in an offense like Ohio State, guys are just going to be open. And so sometimes it's just as easy as like, I see my color streaking down the field, I'm going to throw it. When you have to get into a talent-equated league where you're going to have to check pre-snap and do all those different things, and then mentally, you're going to have to watch different rotations you've never seen before. What does that look like? And the whole reason I'm bringing this up is I look at a guy like Daniel Jones, you look at Sam Darnold, guys that people were just ready to say couldn't play ball. And they get into situations with offensive-minded coaches that know how to develop. And you look at Justin Fields, and he had Matt Nagy for 1 year, whatever it was. And then it's Eberflus, who I don't think is a great ball coach to begin with. You got Mike Tomlin, who is a great ball coach, but that's a defensive guy. And then you get Aaron Glenn, who defensive guy, and the jury's out on whether he can coach ball. And the idea for me is that system and coaching and development are so important in the league, and you can ruin a young quarterback quickly. And so I'm curious to see in an offensive scheme system where things are creative. They move guys around. They'll use his legs, all those different things. how much better can he get? And I think that was always the thing missing for me is it's hard to say that all of these defensive-minded coaches and how they build out a staff and what their philosophy toward offensive football was the best thing for him to get into coming into the league.
I'm with you on that you can stunt a quarterback, and maybe they have. But I also wonder why 3 teams in 3 years moved on from him.
I think they look at quarterbacks. I think that when you're KOC, when you are Shanahan, when you're McVay, I think you are less willing to give up on a guy because you're like, I can fix everything about that. I know what the issues are and I can fix it. I think when you're Eberflus, you're like, oh, we got to get a guy in here who can play. Like he can teach you the right way to play cover 2 to his exact specifications. But when it comes to the quarterback thing, he's like, just give me a guy who can play. I think that's part of it. So they're probably more willing to give up is what I'm trying to say. Everybody wants a dual threat if they can get it. That's key. It's key at the quarterback position these days. At any level, having a dual threat is big. I just looked up. So Fields' sack rate was the highest in the NFL. Mm-hmm.
It's not
he
all
holds the ball too damn much.
So he just didn't want to push the ball downfield. Or there's something his processing at the NFL level, and it could be offensive line related, but it wasn't very good. And the ball was not coming out on time or in the right place. And the reason that we're all wowed by him is because he's very flashy as an athlete. And he can right a lot of wrongs and a lot of offenses. Brings us to the original point, which is the Chiefs took a swing on him. Mm-hmm. A 6th-round pick isn't nothing, but it's not everything. Right. And the draft capital they have is fine. And here's the other thing. The Jets are paying the majority of his salary. Sure. That's what they think of him. Yeah. In the old Moneyball quote, they're paying him to play against them. Not specifically, but you get the drift. So I feel like the headline coming out of Justin Fields going to Kansas City is that this was a great gamble. Mm-hmm. He's cheap, he's athletic, and he's in the right team that has championship mentality. And if Mahomes isn't perfect this year or right to go or he gets tweaked again, they feel like that maybe that this 27-year-old who went 2-7 and 9 starts last year, struggling with the Jets going 0-7 to start the year, that Woody Johnson is out publicly complaining about the quarterback play. Sure. And he's going to be highly motivated with a new mindset going to Kansas City. The Chiefs are paying next to nothing. The Jets, he's due $10 million guaranteed. And they're paying a large portion of that. Mahomes suffered the torn ACL in week 15. He gave an update, said it's going great. I don't think we're talking about a backup quarterback now. I think that's the point. That the Justin Fields is now a backup quarterback. And he's a guy that was drafted 11th in the 11th overall. And so he's hung around. He's got paid. He's been in bad franchises. Teams have given up on him. I think it's probably 50-50 about what he's contributed to his demise and what they have. Maybe teams have failed him, but he's now got a chance to kind of hang around, resurface a little bit. Doesn't feel like he's going to get a lot of time. No, but he's going to get a lot of reps, though. Right? Like, that's going to be the thing because the recovery process for Mahomes, it's going to take him into training camp, right? So during the spring, he's going to get all those reps. In training camp, he's going to get a lot of reps, which I think is important. And that's where you make the decision. Once again, I feel differently about his ability to develop under an Andy Reid type versus some of the other coaches he's had to play for. This is just the reality of the situation is you get him with a guy like that, and maybe things start to click a little bit better than they would have elsewhere. So Justin Fields, you're now a Kansas City Chief, and you get a chance to back up the best in the game, pretty much. We're going to come back in 2 minutes, and we can all applaud this honesty because it's rarely ever said. We'll tell you what that is in 2 minutes. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If your garage floor has stains, cracks, or even the dreaded bad epoxy job, maybe one you tried to do yourself, maybe one you paid for and it didn't work out, it can make your entire garage look bad. Let's be honest about it. And maybe those botched garage floor coatings that you've had in the past have put you off of ever getting it fixed. Well, my friends, let me tell you, the people at Comer and Cross Concrete Floor Coatings want you to know there is a fix out there. They can make your garage floor gleaming, glistening, look like a new car showroom. You call Comer and Cross at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, and they will come out with their pros, no subcontractors, and install a gleaming new Comer and Cross garage floor in just 1 day. Yeah, this floor is guaranteed to never chip, crack, or even show tire lift like epoxy or paint can. Never going to have that problem with Comer and Cross. Call them today, 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. It's that easy. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or you go to comercross.com. That's C-O-M-E-R cross.com. Get a new garage floor with Comer and Cross Concrete Floor Coatings today.
With all that can go wrong in your home, it's enough to make you say, oh, brother. With Brothers Roofing and Construction, one call covers it all. Roofing, siding, rotting decks, bad chimneys. We take care of it all. And we do it right the first time.
Take your shot to save at Great Lakes Hyundai in Columbus or Dublin. Make a basket for extra savings on top of big shot deals on every model from Elantra to Palisade. Go now, Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Matty is a diehard Reds fan. I mean, where else is he going to go? You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, so a while back, you can weigh in on this. Probably even more than I can. I can just weigh in on what I've known for the past 30-plus years being in Columbus. That when they honor former greats, it's when you retire a number, it's for the elite of the elite. We always lamented that Dennis Hobson's number wasn't retired. He left Ohio State as the all-time leading scorer, and they didn't view him as one of the elite of elites, and his number never got in the rafters, and he held the record for almost 40 years.
Right.
Just like Bruce's number won't go into the rafters.
Sure.
Because they're not going to look at him as an elite of an elite. He's not going to be a top 10 player in Ohio State basketball. He's not going to be a National Player of the Year. And in football, which is what we really reserved a lot of these for, is that if you won the Heisman, you were going up and nobody was wearing it again. And so unless you were Chick Harley or Bill Willis.
Sure.
All right. So you didn't have to win the Heisman to actually get it retired. So you had to have just an exceptional uniqueness about you. And that's why I bring up Harley and Willis. And in basketball, I could say the same thing for John Havlicek, who got his number, I believe, retired, and he was a teammate of Jerry Lucas, and Lucas won Player of the Year twice, and Havlicek was his running mate, and here we go. And maybe it was a different time and a different era. I don't believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that Ohio State has retired any numbers for a while now. They don't do that anymore.
No,
they honor them.
Yeah, they put it up, kind of the enshrinement type deal, but you can wear the number.
Great idea.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you got a lot of numbers. You have 85 scholarship players or whatever. You got 105 players.
Yeah.
Like
you got
on
duplicates
a team
out there already.
Yeah. Yes. Now, when you have the tradition that Ohio State has, you can really box yourself into a jersey problem.
Yes.
If you keep retiring numbers. First of all, you're at an NFL factory. You're at a place, not that they're winning Heismans all the time, because they're not. And maybe that could be your line.
It could
be. But they did the same thing with Troy. They didn't retire his number.
Right.
They put it up as an honor.
Right.
So they changed this many years ago. I can't remember what year when they just started honoring. And I thought it worked out pretty good. You can go into their ring of honor. Your name is more important than your number, technically. But I know people associate your number with the greats.
Yes.
So in basketball, it's not much of an issue because it's easier to keep the numbers out of the elite. It's easy to keep those numbers out of service.
Sure.
There are not as many players. Now, if a big-time basketball recruit someday wanted to wear number 11, they'd pick up the phone and call Jerry Lucas. And like when I was covering Andy Katzenmoyer at Westerville South, and he wanted to wear 45 because that was his number, and they called up Archie. And the legend that Archie is said, go for it.
Yeah.
And I remember saying on the air, you're putting the legendary player in a really, really tough spot.
I agree with that.
Because if they say no, they look like a selfish, self-centered, it's about me, not the program. I'm just saying that's what they look like if they say no.
A whole problem with anybody saying they would look like that, though. It's not like they said, hey, you have to retire my jersey now. They played their ass off. They became one of the greats. And you said you were so good that nobody else gets to wear this number. And now you're going to go back and ask, and they look like the bad guy when you do, and you say no. That's insane to me.
Well, they're not. The school isn't saying that they look like a bad guy for saying no.
No, I'm not saying the school is saying that, but anybody who would look at that situation and be like, oh, he's a bad guy, like, no, he's not. You guys said nobody can wear the number anymore. He went along with it. What's wrong with that?
I honestly think that you're heading down the road that I would head down, which is we're not even putting him in that position. We're not even going to call him.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But this day and age, the coaches here, the recruit, the people that want that player, because the player should be the selfish one. If a kid wants to come to Ohio State, or you could argue that 75 Orlando Pace, who's a college football Hall of Famer and a pro football Hall of Famer, Spielman, Hicks, Winfield, go through the list. You could say these numbers are retired. If that was your number in high school, we're sorry.
Change your number right now.
But if you want to come here to be a part of this tradition, then you should honor the tradition that we have, not say, I'm the next star, you want me, I want that number. You're right. The pressure should more be put on that recruit. So I bring up all of that to come back to what happened recently with Matt Leinart. Matt Leinart his number is... Was he 11?
11.
Yeah, he was, ironically, he was 11 also. So I guess USC did what most of these schools do that still retire numbers. That's why I applaud Ohio State for doing more of a ring of honor versus your number can never be worn again. Because at least it opens them up to, if a recruit wants to wear that, there's no argument.
There's a tough spot for USC, too, because all the history they have and probably the numbers that are up there. Like, yeah, they should have stopped that a while ago.
So Leinart was on, the TLC has the sound on the Throwbacks podcast, and it was brought up that in the case of number 11 at USC, that was a retired number in honor of Matt Leinart, and he basically says it's staying that way.
When I was at USC, I got my number retired. There's been multiple times where people at USC have asked me if I would unretire my jersey for some 5-star prospect. And do you want to know what I told those guys straight up? I am never going to unretire my jersey for some random dude who, by the way, now could wear number 11 and transfer after a year. The only person that will ever wear my USC number 11 would be Cole, who's not there right now. He's at SMU, or two of my boys if they end up going to USC and playing football. That is it.
The reason that I say
I like the tinge of nepotism in there, by the way.
Well, and I understand that. If it's my son, like, I feel like, okay, that makes sense because it's a family legacy kind of thing.
Yeah.
So here's where I think it gets these guys into trouble. Most legendary players, even of Ohio State, truly want to see the program succeed.
Yes.
And they don't want to be the guy that takes a chance that if I say no, that recruit's going to pick somewhere else.
It's one kid.
I know, but if it's Jeremiah Smith and you know that he's going to be, you know what I'm talking about.
First, it's unretire the number, and then it's something else, and it's something else, and it's something else down the line. Like, you make a decision on your program values, but to me, that it's crazy to say that I think I'm so good that we should ask this legend if I can wear the number because I feel like I deserve to wear it.
Well, I don't even know if it's deserving.
I don't know, but it tells me something about the kid, though. Like, there's a reason the number's retired.
Well, I'm with you on that.
What are we talking about?
It's kind of a snake move, too, because You're the one who retired it, which means if you wanted to, you could be the one to unretire it, but now you want that to be their decision.
It's wild. And by the way, this day and age, if I was one of the, like, if I'm Leinart and some kid comes in and he's like, I want to wear 11, that's fine. It's going to cost you $100,000 a year to wear it because you're getting paid. Pay me for it.
Yeah, but then
it's your choice.
It's down to a transaction.
Now it's your choice. I'm not the bad guy. I'm not telling you no. I'm telling you I need to be compensated.
And some guys might.
They might.
Leinart doesn't need to do that, apparently. He doesn't want to. So
my original thought whole situation's insane to me. Every part of it. The kid asking for it, and then the school being like, sure, you know what? I'm going to go effort that. And then Leinart's got to be like, no, I'm never doing that.
What if, and we play out the results of this, and I brought up the Katzenmoyer example. He turned out to be an absolute star. He was a local kid. Grew up in Columbus, played at Westerville South. There was a little more of he understood the history of it, still wanted the number, and they asked Archie, and he granted it. Did it put Archie in a tough spot? Of course it did. And I'm not saying Archie would have wanted to say no. Maybe
he's the right kind of guy.
He is.
Yes.
But what if there was 10% of Archie that felt like, I really prefer not, but I can't say it publicly.
Yeah. I
mean, you put it back on the school, like Cole said. Yeah. You either have a hard and fast rule. What I'm telling you is that the alum of this proud university, or of any university that has history, want the program to be great all the time. And I'm not saying they're going to lose a kid for this. Your point is, if we're going to lose you for this, then you're not the right guy.
Bingo.
Then you don't understand our history. Here's an idea. Pick another number and let us retire that one when you leave, because you could make it your own.
Sure.
That could be something, too, that you got to go prove that you're good enough to wear that before we grant it to you. The difference is that coaches are in a win now mode. They're in I want this kid. That if this is something that could solidify him coming here, then I'm more than willing to pick up the phone and call one of our alum. And I'm just saying it puts that guy in a really, really tough spot. I applaud Leinart's honesty. The only difference is that if they lose this kid, whoever this kid is, you're right. 75% of USC fans might say, we didn't want him. He's a selfish, you know what.
That's what they're going to do.
But 25% might blame Leinart.
Sure.
That's the reason we lost him, because you wouldn't give up your damn number for a year. And by the way, there's no truth that he is transferring a year in. You don't know that.
Right. I mean, nobody knows, but you guys came to me. You said you were so good that we don't think anybody else should wear this. And now, however many years down the line, you got another kid who's coming in here that you just have to have, like all the rest of them. So you're going to call me on the phone and be like, actually, we want to undo the thing that we wanted to do for you to honor you. We want to undo that for this kid.
We don't want
Hell no is the answer.
We won't undo it unless you tell us to undo it.
but we want to undo it, and we want you to say
that's why we're making the call.
That you want to undo it. Yeah.
Is your jersey retired at Olentangy?
I don't think they retired jerseys, but your boy is in the Hall of Fame up there.
It's the way it should be. It doesn't need to be the way Ohio State's doing it now. It's probably the way it needs to be done.
It's the smartest way to do it.
The Ring of Honor.
Yes.
Your name. You're the guy. Other people will come and go. They will wear your number. They won't amount to half of what you did in that number.
By the way, I appreciate the legacy.
No, that was not a quote.
Oh, that was totally your movie quote cadence.
It was, but that was our original. I think I don't remember what I just said.
You got to train like Pavlov's dogs over there.
Just jumping on the mic. You know, I'll take that as a compliment. He thought I dropped a movie line.
He's got he's got a certain cadence when he's quoting something.
All right, we're going to come back in a few minutes, and we're going to talk about stuff. Jake Diebler has his guys dancing. What's his approach for Thursday? We'll tell you next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Matty Ice here, ready to run toward incredible savings. Get set for the 37th annual Marathon Mania at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion, March 20th and the 21st only. Select new and used vehicles are priced at invoice, but that's not all. Every hour they slash prices even more, taking an additional $50 off. They're also staying open later and giving you more time to score the deal of a lifetime. And don't miss offers like $12,000 off MSRP on the 26 Silverado 1500 for qualified buyers. McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free in 24 months with no payments or interest, plus $500 off. Restrictions apply. Call 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Anthony, and I've got my own good feet story. I fought plantar fasciitis for a while. That's that horrible heel pain that seems to come out of nowhere. And not being on my feet was not ever going to be an option for me. I did all the home remedies, rolling the tennis ball under my feet. And the relief never really stuck until I went to the Good Feet store, where I was personally fitted with Good Feet arch supports based on my feet and arch size and the goals I have for my lifestyle. As soon as I popped them in my shoes, I could feel the difference. And now every day, my feet feel good. My knees, my hips, my back, they all feel supported and so much better aligned. I've complained about my back for years, but guess what? Nobody's heard me talk like that in a long time. These are a game changer for me every day. They're in my shoes to work out, to go to work, and soon in my golf shoes. The journey to feeling my pain go away has been nothing short of awesome, and just feeling the support I get puts me in a great mood. So stop in either at their store in Grove City or on Polaris Parkway in Westerville, or get started right now at goodfeet.com.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Last year, Eric Reeser and T-Bone staged the first annual Fan 5K. People had a good time and no one died. So we decided to do it all again. It all goes down Saturday, June 20th in Otterbein.
Presented by the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center.
Will Reeser's muscular calves explode? Will T-Bone's beard choke him while running? More importantly, will Tyvis Common Man and Timmy make total fools of themselves? Maybe. Magic 8 Ball says signs point to yes. Register today at 971therace.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Cosby Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Buy 4 windows and get 4 free plus an extra 10% off from windownation.com.
Boy, that's a great topic, though. It really is, because I'll repeat myself again, because it hits me this way. You put the legendary player in such a tough spot because the love of your alma mater is supposed to bleed over from generation to generation, and there's this automatic feel that the legendary player should want the current team to win as much as he wanted his own team. And I think that's insane to think that that emotion could be attached. However, you don't want to be the guy that says, well, the reason we didn't get this recruit is because you wouldn't let him wear your number for a year or two. Yeah. When your number is not, your number will always stay in the rafters, so to speak, and will have your name attached to it. Just because Johnny whatever comes in and wears it for a year and maybe he's a good player in it, we're not going to take yours down and put his name. But I thought what you told me in the last segment, I want you to elaborate on it, is maybe the best point from era to era.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about what's going on here, and I said, if a guy wants to wear it and there's an issue, pay the guy who you want to unretire. You got these young people now coming in with these big NIL packages. I'm sure if you're calling up a legend about his number, it's a guy who you're probably paying a lot of money to. Asking a dude from a bygone era, maybe Liner is not the best example because they were getting paid out there, but you're asking dudes from that era who never made a lick of money from NIL or from the university to unretire his number for a kid who's getting paid a ton, like just off of an era-to-era thing, that would perturb me too. And by the way, the school, if you're going to be the middleman in that too, maybe you sweeten the pot. Hey, we're going to use you in this role, in that role, and there's going to be some sort of endorsement tied to it. We want to make this like a passing the torch from one generation to the next thing. But if you're just calling a guy and we're like, hey, we got this dude who we really like, he's the apple of our eye right now, and he wants to wear your number, I'm hanging up the phone. Right? Like, I totally understand where a guy like Leinart would be like, absolutely not, I'm never doing it.
Some of the young guys, though, package it up as it's more of a tribute to that guy. Yes, I wore this in high school. I like this number, and I'm not trying to steal the number. I'm actually paying tribute to wearing this number because it brings that. The other reason, I remember saying this to TLC a while back when we talked about this. The other reason that sometimes guys will allow this is it brings them back into relevancy. Not that they were irrelevant.
The Michael Irvin theory?
Yeah, it has that feel to it that when trying to think. Oh, if Troy Smith wants to wear 10, it brings Rex Kern's history back into the present day fold.
Sure.
And I start talking about Rex Kern and Anthony Gonzalez and guys that wore 10. And it makes people feel warm inside that even though they're decades removed, and the kid who attends Ohio State right now has no clue. I looked at Archie when I first got here in the 90s. I looked at Archie the way kids do at Ohio State kids now probably look at Eddie.
Okay.
And so it was like, well, I didn't really see him play.
Right.
I know all about the legend. And I think that's the other reason maybe some guys feel like, you know what, let him wear my number. It means people will bring me back into the conversation.
I mean, I guess that would be on the individual if they were for that and they wanted to try to reignite some fire around their name. That's perfectly fine. I just think it's a tacky thing to ask for, and I think it's a tacky thing to try to facilitate.
I can't remember. Was there something with Sayin and Troy, or did anything ever?
Nothing.
Because it wasn't retired.
Right, yeah.
Because they went to that honorary thing. But if Ohio State pulled a USC and never did this, Julian Sayin could have asked for 10.
Yeah.
And then it would have been up to Troy to say, it would have put him in a very tough spot.
Would Julian Sayin have not come here?
I doubt. It's all
Joshua.
individual, like Josh was saying. We don't know.
Have you ever heard of an athlete not committing to a school because they wouldn't let him have a certain number?
Not here. I know there have been times where guys wanted a number and there was a veteran player on the roster and they would just have to wait. Like, you might have to wait 2 years to get the number that you want. I think that's fine, right? But this idea of like, I got to get a number nobody else has worn in years and nobody else can wear, like, tacky.
I'm with you guys. I think that it's a fun conversation to have. And I applaud Leinart's honesty because he's the first guy that came out and said, nah, not worth it.
And he clarified
his decision.
that Lincoln Riley hasn't asked him. It's been coaches in the past, which a lot of people were talking about who it might have been.
Yeah,
but the honesty is huge.
Well, that would be actually the deep dive into the story would be whatever happened to that recruit.
Yeah.
Did he wind up still coming to USC and what became of him? That would have been the follow-up to Leinart. Did you ever find out about that kid? Did he still come? Because I'm with you. I feel like this is such a rare thing where a guy would do an about face if he didn't get the number. Like, I think that would be, I've not heard of that.
If I'm Matt Leinart, I'm saying to USC, well, if that athlete doesn't come to USC because he can't wear number 11, he's an idiot. Let him go.
Yeah, I might actually talk to the kid, too, and say that to him. Like, from the guy whose number you're asking for to the dude who's never been through this before, there are bigger things in life.
Carson Palmer won the first Heisman in the 21st century at USC.
Yeah.
He gave it to Jordan Addison.
Sure.
I don't know if Addison asked for it. I'm presuming he did. And that's when they asked Leinart, well, why wouldn't you do what Carson Palmer did? Like, because I'm not making that exception. I'll make it for my son if he wants to come to USC.
Carson Palmer would have done that because Jordan Addison was a hired gun with 1 year left before
That's
going
kind
to
of
the
my
NFL.
thing. Like, I think even more so in this era, it is numbers used to be currency, literally, back before guys played. That was one of the things that you felt like you could get was a number. You couldn't get an NIL package. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it feels even more tacky. It's like, dog, we're paying you to be here for a year. Like, just wear any stupid number and go out there and ball.
And make it famous.
Yeah, we promised you that you were going to get touches. We promised you that you were going to get targets. Like, do that thing.
Yeah, be like Devin Gardner over 98.
There's no legacy with you coming here for a year.
Some athletes are emotional about their number. Most are. And number two, maybe they're even a little superstitious about it. A little. It doesn't mean that things are going to cosmically turn against them if they don't have their high school number that they made famous.
I got a Devin Gardner jersey in my closet, by the way.
Did a jersey swap?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like
now in the media career?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we did some shows together.
I didn't see any pictures of you two on the field swapping jerseys after
Chicago.
the OSU Michigan game.
And he did like a little residency with us, and at the end we did a jersey swap.
Yeah.
Oh, and you actually kept the jersey?
Yes, of course. I'm still waiting to get it framed, though.
I didn't know if it's just for the picture.
Haven't put it out with the rest of them.
Oh, what's the best? Actually, I'll ask that at 2:45. I'm going to ask you what's the best jersey that you have in the closet.
Spoiler, it's not going to be anything that'll wow you too much.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You said with the rest of them, so it sounds like you got a collection.
I've got a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got the best one going today.
Oh, yeah.
You brought out your best Danny Ainge. Oh, no. That's Larry Bird.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to come back. Top of the hour. You'll hear from Deebler on getting his guys ready for the dance. And I have a look-ahead spread for football. You want to hear that next? Rothman Ice on the Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on the Buckeye Show. News, special guests, and everything scarlet and gray. The Fan.
Hi, Dave.
Your people were at my house yesterday.
Are you happy they came?
I never realized how much that junk was bothering me until it was gone.
We love to give people that clean, happy feeling, Dave. Thanks for calling.
I feel great. Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
When your wonderful people were about to drive away, I looked at my wife and said, that was love with its sleeves rolled up.
Did your wife agree?
Absolutely.
Dave, you made my day.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Columbus, it's time to gear up. The Open Season Sportsman's Expo, presented by Progressive and Can-Am, returns this Friday through Sunday at the Ohio Expo Center. Bring the family to see Twiggy the water skiing squirrel. Shop hundreds of exhibitors and get hands-on with the latest hunting gear, equipment, outfitters, and land management. Learn from expert seminar speakers and bring your buck for the Trophy Deer Contest with more ways to win big. Fueled by Toyota, the official truck, and Tacticam, the official cell camera of the Open Season Sportsman's Expo. Get discounted tickets now at OpenSeasonSportsman'sExpo.com.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With the center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
You got it at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13, and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission, no cash access, and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Breathe.
got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Tom's Garage Door, when it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
I started my first business at 12 years old, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I thought I was crushing it until my buddy down the street undercut me by $2. But he didn't just cut the price, he cut corners too. That's when I learned if you do the job right, people trust you and integrity beats profit. People care more about how you show up and whether you do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we crush it, and we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts, and the spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. Because when you care about the people you serve, you work harder, and it shows. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com. And yeah, we still beat the other guy.
Tom's Garage Doors, when it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at Coughlin Chevrolet. Lease a new 26 Chevy Trax, $169 a month. New 26 Equinox, lease for $229 a month. Or lease a new 26 Silverado, $359 a month. Visit CoughlinChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Coughlin has the car for you.
39-month leases, Silverado 36-month lease, $39.99 due at signing plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/26.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. The Blue Jackets host the Hurricanes tonight at 7. Carolina leads the Metro Division with 90 points. CBJ sit 2 points out of the second wild card spot with 79. Coverage on the Fan starts at 6:30. In the NFL, the Texans have agreed to a 2-year deal with former Browns guard Wyatt Teller per NFL Network. Teller spent 7 of his first 8 seasons with Cleveland. Per reports, the Dolphins are trading star wideout Jalen Waddle and a 4th-round pick to the Broncos for a 1st, 3rd, and 4th, while ESPN reported the Eagles and Hollywood Brown agreed to terms on a 1-year deal worth up to $6.5 million. College hoops NCAA tournament first 4 starts tonight in Dayton with 16 seeds UMBC and Howard at 6:40, then 11 seeds Texas and NC State at 9:15. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, the best credit union for the past 8 years in a row by CBUS Top Picks. Visit bmifcu.org to learn more.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, final hour of the program. Joshua Perry in for the Iceman, Rothman and Ice. TCU and Ohio State certainly played their way in over the second half. They'll get going 12:15 on Thursday. And we all know that Ohio State was left for dead amongst this fan base. When they botched that game in Iowa and it just was a landslide the other way, maybe they felt a little broken to people, that it was one of those games that's a game that could break you when you lose it that way, when you get just demoralized, for lack of a better word. And to Jake's credit and this team's credit, they were able to compartmentalize that loss, realize that the bubble was soft this year, and they were very much still in play. And that was on Wednesday, February 25th, that night. And Tilly didn't play that game, but no one was giving him enough credit that was the reason.
Sure.
We didn't come in the next day after they lost by almost 30, or no, it was 20. Yeah.
20. 74 or 57
okay.
or something like that.
So, but we didn't come in the next day and say, well, there's a reason for this. Christoph Tilly didn't play.
Yeah.
None of us were saying that.
I don't know if he gave us all the reasons to give that benefit of the doubt either, though.
He didn't, but then he did.
He did. After a while, he did.
Against Iowa.
Sure.
Ironically.
Yeah.
And so, yes, there's a lot to like about his game, and there's a lot to critique about his game. This was a guy that this program targeted basically to come in here and be a difference maker for this team. Because when I look at, listen, they had Thornton coming back, Mobley, and Devin Royal. And Christoph Tilley was a year 4, a vet, a dude. Like he was going to make a difference. Brandon Knoll, 6-year guy, vet. He was a dude. And this was all about helping the collective. It wasn't going to be the key. It was key retention,
yes,
specific transfers.
Sure.
That was it. Not just guys. We're not just going to get guys. Bradshaw, Stewart, Quez. Who are those guys pushing? They're not pushing anybody. Because they couldn't really lead.
Sure.
And guys were getting minutes a year ago because they needed them.
Yeah.
Not because they had earned them.
Right.
And so I think they attacked this year as let's go out and get a proven big. And they thought the proven big was Tilley. But they didn't want him to do anything more than what he did at Santa Clara.
Mm-hmm.
That they didn't need him in a different role. And that's what I loved about it. When we talked to Jake at training camp, this was a go out and do what you do. We don't need you to be a different guy. Same went for Brandon Knoll.
Mm-hmm.
And what you did at Wright State, different level, same guy. If you come in and you dial in and you know your role, it's not an insult because you're coming into a team that retained Junie and Devin and Bruce, that they can become something this year. And they played their way in, and I give them a lot of credit for it. I do. I'm not throwing a parade that they made the tournament because I'm realistic, though. I want to be a realist.
Yes.
And when I was a realist about this year, and when it said what spells success this year, I said the bare minimum's getting in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
You get into this thing. If Ohio State's not one of the top 68 teams in the country, something is wrong. Every year.
Right.
Now, that may be wrong for me to say that.
I don't think it is.
Because Indiana's going through the same problem.
Sure.
They just got deflection from an unbelievable historic football team,
Which
and
helps.
it's taken a little bit of heat off the basketball team.
Right.
Now the heat's back on.
Sure.
Because they didn't make it, and I heard Indiana saying yesterday, no more excuses.
Mm-hmm.
If DeVries, you get us in or you don't, or you're gone.
Right.
Pretty much. So here we are with Jake in his second year, and when they got selected, there was kind of a feel of an exhale. Wow, we achieved something that we had set a goal. And then like you and I have done, dust settles. This whole getting in thing, this feeling of week of hype ends in a heartbeat on Thursday if they don't win.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I do want to be fair and give credit to your point because I've said this before, there were moments this year where I was just like, I'm jumping off the boat, right? And this is what I've done in the past where I've been around and the team has down the stretch disappointed me and I've gotten my hopes up for no good reason. And I didn't want to put myself through that. And so I look at multiple moments during the year where that happened against Virginia. It was a great example for me. Felt like the game was going pretty well early on. It was another one of those close losses against a good team. It's like, this is just kind of who they are. And then they beat Wisconsin. You're feeling pretty good about yourself. And then you turn around, you mentioned the Iowa game. And then it's like, I can't get back in. And then they close the way that they do. And I think it proves that they were the team who could have flipped some of those early results, right? Like we saw the things that they needed to do better defensively. We saw some of the scoring output where it's like, phenomenal, this is that team. But now that we are here, it does feel like there's a strong desire. I know I personally have a strong desire, get that first win, and then let's see what happens.
Yeah, and it's like I said, this is a coin flip game. This is not if Ohio State loses this game, I'm not going to lose my you-know-what and say, like, this was an absolute disaster.
No.
Like,
but you feel disappointed, though.
Yeah, there will be. They've set themselves up.
Sure.
Either to get the all-world matchup against Duke, which is the all-house money game,
right,
or limp back home like, boy, that feeling didn't last too long. We took a step forward, but we got stunted there. So Amari Bynum, who was one of the biggest risers in that class, Chapman was a top 40 guy in the 2023 class. He was coming off an ACL. He got back to full strength. Like, the beauty of this team right now is that at least they are who they thought they could be.
I agree with that.
At the right time.
That's
I don't
right.
know what they can be, but this is what they envisioned.
Yes.
Here's Jake on his reaction when he saw the name pop up, third team right out of the gate.
Yeah, you guys know when it comes to this program, I'm a history buff, and the players that have come through here have certainly been some, Hall of Fame level coaching that's been in this program. And, listen, when I was named head coach, there were some things that we wanted to get to work on right away to help get this program back to where it belongs. This was an important step, but we're not satisfied. We want to keep raising the level of this program. Our staff has worked extremely hard in helping us get to this point. It's we've dealt with a ton of adversity, certainly this season and in past year, but we got a group that's connected, and our chemistry has been a big reason. We got really good players. That's been a big reason why we've gotten to this point. But again, we still got a final chapter for this season to write, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
You said it yesterday. They've got, I don't know if they ever truly lost confidence, but they've never had as much as they have now. And for a guy that was named the first Ohioan to be the head coach of this basketball team in 35 years, and Scooney was in his corner, Mike Redd was in his corner, there were some guys. I think when he got hired, it was, Michigan got Dusty May.
Right.
And he's got him to a Final Four. So we're going to always compare you to him. Because that's the guy who could have had or should have had or whatever. And so he's going to have that. I don't think he's worried about it. I think he's worried about taking a step forward. And I think cracking the seal, like we said yesterday, on getting in is a big deal.
Yeah. And to see the mentality that he's taken toward, he talked about going through adversity. And part of that isn't just like, oh, you got guys who get injured and you lose games. The other part is like, people aren't confident in me, right? They don't think that I was the right guy to necessarily do that job. And it doesn't faze him. And especially for a young coach, I think that's a really, really important skill set to have. Being in this city, as much as people love the Buckeyes in any sport, it's a great thing to have. And so to see him take it all head on, like, that's an important thing to see.
Yep. I like it. I've been in his corner, and it's not because I think he's a great guy, or it's not. He is. It's more of that. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's been around this game a long time. He's going to learn a little bit on the fly. He's not going to have all the experienced guys that have had coaching in this thing for 10, 15 years, but he's got a team that, if this is the obvious, this team can hit shots. Yeah. And if they do, they're dangerous. They don't have a lot to rely on when they don't.
Right.
That's the issue. They're big man. A lot of big men you need to post up, play with your back to the basket, get fouled, get to the line, put other teams' best players in foul trouble, all that. I don't think they have that guy. Bynum is athletic. He's not a back to the basket guy, and he's a force. He's a physical force. But when this team is cooking, they're really good. When they're not, they don't have a plan B. And that's okay. They're a little bit all in the way they go now.
Yeah, I will say, though, that I do think they've played better defensively.
And rebounding.
Which helps when you're not cooking on the offensive end. So that's a positive there.
TCU is going to try to take it away. The stat here is they're forcing 14 turnovers a game. And that'll be it. That's the tail of the tape. Ohio State gets turned over a lot, and they blow possessions, which they can't afford to do. Then you're in a ball game. But if Ohio State's hitting threes and getting to the rack and rebounding and keeping turnovers to a minimum, then here we are. Should be a great game on Thursday. We're going to come back. Will the quarterback draft turn out to be correct? One analyst says it's up in the air. You'll hear it next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
It's time for an NCAA tournament schedule preview. March Madness tips off with first four action tonight and Wednesday, including two 11-seed battles between Texas, North Carolina State, and then Miami of Ohio and SMU tomorrow. Then on Thursday, a full slate of 16 games, including 1 seeds Duke and Michigan taking the floor. Followed on Friday by top seeds Arizona and Florida getting their tournament started. Stay tuned for Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA tournament right here.
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Common Man and Bob Capace here for Worthington Jewelers. Bobby, it's bridal sale time.
Our annual spring bridal sale is March 10th through the 21st. Buy one and get one 50% off on all bridal jewelry.
And don't miss the weekend trunk shows featuring the latest styles from the top designers. And Bobby, if custom is the choice, you're the man for that.
Absolutely. Let us make the ring of your dreams.
Check out our custom ring builder at worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged.
Spring is hatching at the Columbus Zoo. Join us April 3rd and 4th for Eggs, Paws, and Claws. Snap a pic with the Easter Bunny, meet Egbert, roll into Shelley's Celebration, and crack the clues in the Explore and Find. It's 2 extra fun days you won't want to miss. Get your discounted tickets at Kroger.
What's bigger than a three-pointer in a clutch play? Saving thousands on a new Lindsay Honda now.
Slam dunk a deal with 0% financing for 72 months on 2025 Honda Pilot and Ridgeline. If you're serious about saving big, now's the time. Want better MPG? Drive a new 2026 Civic Sport, just $199 a month. March is on during the Honda Spring Event. Time to score big.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference.
Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
If your roof is leaking, you don't need a sales pitch. You need answers. I'm Bill Schmidt with Brothers Roofing and Construction, a local certified contractor helping homeowners across central and southern Ohio solve real problems. No pressure, just honest work done right.
We're hiring at Don's Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job. It's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at donsgaragedoors.com.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Some foot issues just can't be fixed by those expensive shoe stores or shoe inserts. A foot exam from a doctor of podiatric medicine, who is the medical expert in foot and ankle care, may give solutions after doing a complete foot examination. If you suffer from foot, heel, or ankle pain, let us help you find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association so you know you are being treated by the very best.
For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Can't follow the Buckeyes to the tournament? Adam and Nicole hit the road for all the action.
Sponsored by Logan Services, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Keep it locked on 10TV, 10TV Plus, and your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A chance of snow showers today, otherwise mostly cloudy skies and struggling to get into the low 30s with breezy winds. And then for tonight, partly cloudy overnight with lows in the 20s. For Wednesday, we do have a slight chance of snow showers turning into rain showers as we head into the afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be mostly cloudy and warmer with highs around 40 and breezy winds. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
We are your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, let's take a look at the Lookahead line. And I'm going to skip Maddie's ramp-up game against Ball State. I don't have a line on that. I know he's very interested in the ramp-up game against Ball State. But the line for the Ohio State at Texas game, would you care to guess? I'm sure you guys could probably get fairly close, unless you already know.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's Texas minus 2.5.
That was going to be my guess.
Play your simultaneous theme music. You can borrow whatever you'd like.
I'll borrow mine and Ice's, the Dudley Boys.
Okay.
Which also fits. If I were wearing glasses, it'd really fit right now. Here we come.
Let me make sure I heard you guys correctly. You said
Texas 2.5.
Okay, I was going to. All right. For a second there, I thought maybe you guys said Ohio State, and then I would have to retract the theme music.
Retracting the music.
No, you're right. It's all right. So where would we lean right now? You got to make a bet, and let's take the heart out of it and all that. Doesn't it feel like late? Doesn't it feel
Rothman
like
just called Joshua biased. Who heard that?
No. I'm just.
Let's take the heart out of this one, Joshua, when you give this opinion, okay? Unlike all those other biased opinions you have.
Yeah.
That's what I just heard.
I'm speaking for both of us.
Texas feels to me right now like one of those teams that can be right there at the end of it. Certainly with the roster that they have, they've got a new defensive coordinator. They had to bring in some transfers. Their offensive line was not great last year, and so they've got some work to do there. Like you could talk me into a world where Ohio State is a better team in week 1 and can go on the road and get a win, and it doesn't dictate what these guys are going to be toward the end of the year. So I'd lean. I'm gonna say Ohio State's gonna go in there and get it done week 1. Tight game. Where are you at?
There's some revenge motivation for them.
Revenge doesn't go as hard as it used to.
It usually doesn't.
Because a bunch of new guys, you know?
There are, but the quarterbacks will be the same.
Yeah, well, the quarterback.
Well, and that's the up in the air part of it. It honestly is tough.
I think people feel like he finished the year, Arch, better than I thought he actually finished the year.
He got a couple nice weapons, portal-wise.
He did.
Like, that's going to help.
I'm still a little bit wait and see.
Yeah, I think my lean right now, if I had to make the bet, would probably be to lay the 2.5. Just take the home team. But that would be risky. It would be. I think maybe the safer bet is take the proven product in Ohio State, even though, you know, defense will be different.
Sure.
And we know that. But you still have Julian Saint and Jeremiah Smith. And Arch Manning could have Ryan Wingo and Cam Coleman and guys that
Hollywood Smothers came in.
And where will they be ranked preseason?
Which one, Buckeyes or Texas?
Texas could be number 1. I think it would be between them and Notre Dame, maybe Oregon. Those would be the top 3 potentially.
I feel like this could be a 1 versus 2 matchup.
I don't know.
Oh, great. Does that mean Notre Dame's going to repeat Penn State's performance from last year?
You'll be top 5.
Yeah, we'll be.
I don't know.
Who would be if those two weren't number 1 and number 2? Who would you think would be? You said Oregon.
Oregon. Notre Dame would be in the conversation for preseason number 1.
Oregon lost so much in the portal.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys who are coming back, and a quarterback who, when he's at the top of his game, is.
He lost both his coordinators too, didn't he?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they'll be right in the mix for the conversation.
I think it's actually a compliment that Ohio State would be less than a field goal underdog on the road in week 2.
I don't disagree with that.
It's actually a compliment, especially at a place like that.
Yeah.
They say you get 3 just for being at home.
And in college, it might even be more.
So that makes it a pick 'em.
Might be 3.5 to 4. But the running back room, you said Hollywood Smothers, NC State kid.
Yep.
Another kid from Arizona State. The offensive line,
that is an issue for him.
Coming back. It's similar to Ohio State.
Yep.
And that, you know, I said this the other day on the air when a coach says, we're very deep. It's our deepest unit. Like, they never add, and very talented. Like, we're deep. I said the other day.
It's like, well, Coach, you get 0 points for the players who don't see the field.
Our slogan here at The Fan is, we're very deep. We have anyone could host at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
But you only get credit for the 2 who are in the chairs.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that'll be interesting. I just wanted to mention that is the look-ahead line right now if you wanted to bet it today and tie up your money. All right. Dan Orlovsky, talking about the difference between two quarterbacks in the draft this year. We know that the Raiders are not going to pass on Fernando Mendoza. They're just not. So I wouldn't be, they're not adding anything else but that. This is the Mendoza-Clint Kubiak combination, and they're going to get it started. But he's saying that there is not, for him, not that big of a difference between Mendoza and his next best quarterback, Ty Simpson.
I truly believe that if Ty Simpson was 6'4", he would be going number 2 to the New York Jets. Or if he had 23 college starts and the body of work looked like it did, like Mel referenced.
Would you, if he was 6'4", would he be going number 1 to the Raiders?
I think it'd be a much greater conversation. Absolutely. You watch that young man play. Mel mentions it. Middle of November, he's a top 5 pick in a lot of people's eyes. And you cut on the Missouri game. You cut on the Wisconsin game. You cut on the Vanderbilt game. You're watching a guy that's lethal down the field, with the deep in routes, with the crossing routes, with the rhythmic timing. This isn't an RPO offense where dinking and dunking. He's very much so Brock Purdy. He's not going to wow you with the physical traits, but surgical when it comes to throwing the football. He's way more of a playmaker than people give him credit for, and he's making real NFL throws on real NFL concepts. I'm much higher on him than other people.
Okay.
It's an interesting... The two things that he said that make me say he's not wrong about this take is, number one, if he was 6'4", he's not. And that's a part of the evaluation. Number two, nobody was ever taking Brock Purdy 1 or 2, right? So, like, I don't think he's necessarily wrong in the idea that Ty Simpson might not be getting enough credit. You ask people who watch college football, right? He was the Heisman winner up until Halloween, right? Like, he was the guy. But he got hurt, started losing weight. He didn't look the same.
Elbow, rib.
Yeah.
Or no, the rib he hurt against Indiana.
It was that thing. It was an elbow thing.
Yeah.
And then he got real skinny, and it's like, that doesn't look right. They never had a competent run game. I mentioned it earlier. That offensive line was so dysfunctional. And you look at a guy in Fernando Mendoza where the offensive line played well pretty much every week, and they had one of the best run games in the country. And they made it easy for him. And this is not a knock on him, but you look at how many free entry passes he had on RPOs. You look at the play action in the rhythm that he was able to throw him with that. Whereas Alabama was straight drop back, and Ty Simpson, you got to be the guy. Like, I can see where people would say the gap is a little bit closer. And the other thing, which I'd love to hear your take on this, Rothman, I feel like people are talking about Fernando Mendoza like he is every number 1 pick quarterback that we've seen in the past. And I think he's a very good player who's going to be a good pro. But I don't think he's like some of the other guys that we've seen go number 1 overall. Like, he's going to be good, but we're talking about him like he's Joe Burrow. That's just not the case.
Okay, so I think that he's probably being built up a little too much. And it's probably because of maybe the chasm that some people feel that is between him and others.
Yes.
So I think if you're the foregone conclusion at number 1 and there's no decision to be made, and Dan Orlovsky is adding 3 inches to Ty Simpson just to make his point,
insane.
That, like you said, you can't drop if he was 6'4".
You can't.
You know the old joke. If I would have him, and so I think that's it. I do think Mendoza is a really good RPO quarterback with toughness, precision, running ability. I don't love his mobility in the pocket, but it's good enough.
He's a weird mover.
But he's tough. And the move he made against Miami for the key touchdown was as legit as it gets.
Does it scare you at all that he doesn't have a bunch of 300-yard games? Like, this was one of the things with J.J. McCarthy where I was like, they don't ask him to throw it that much.
He's so good in the red zone. That doesn't bother me.
Fair enough.
Like,
it feels like nobody's brought up those concerns. Like, people have just overlooked it because he clearly is the number 1 quarterback.
I'll agree with you on that I'm not so sure that he's a franchise quarterback for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I think he can be.
Right.
I do. I don't think this is a huge leap in the right system with the right weapons.
I'm with you on
and I'm
all
not
that.
saying he needs all of it, but every quarterback needs it to some extent, especially in the NFL. I think he's got what are his, he's 6'5", like 235. Like, he's prototypical.
Yeah, he's
there.
got thick forearms, too. Like, the guy's in the weight room as well.
And I'll tell you, that the Heisman moment he had at Penn State when they were bringing the kitchen sink at him, and he lays in there and lays that throw out to Coop, like that to me.
Do you have a Heisman moment against 6-6? I asked that question
on the road in Happy Valley.
I don't mean 6
when they're blitzing, you got to take them 90 yards. I think so.
I mean, he had a sack early in that drive. His bad. I mean,
I don't like the argument. Oh, he rescued the game from himself. I hate that.
I'm not saying he did, but like, it's an interesting conversation. I feel like we're doing a lot for a guy who, in many other drafts, we wouldn't be doing as much lifting for.
Probably because there's no real argument.
Yeah.
No, his Heisman moment was Ohio State scoring 10 points in the Big Ten championship.
No, I disagree with you. He made 3 phenomenal throws in that game. Phenomenal throws in the against Ohio State.
If Ohio State wins that game, the Heisman winner is not Fernando Mendoza.
Which is an argument in its own right.
Yeah.
Which is why the Heisman moment is not Penn State, because he didn't win. Like, he wasn't the foregone conclusion there.
This is a bigger conversation.
Yeah, this is a big conversation.
We could have one
do
day.
this on Friday.
Yeah.
We'll come back in 2 minutes with Tyvis Powell. I'm sure he'd be ready to give up his jersey freely. Not. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
If my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle. The open season Sportsman's Expo hits this Friday through Sunday at the Ohio Expo Center. See Twiggy the water skiing squirrel. Shop hundreds of exhibitors and much more with Toyota, the official truck, and Tacticam, the official cell camera. Get discounted tickets now at openseasonsportsmansexpo.com.
No one plans to get into an accident, but when it happens, we strive in making life easier for you. This is Justin Hinderer. The Hinderer Motor Company Collision Center is ICAR certified and certified by many manufacturers to provide the best quality repair available. All of our repairs come with a lifetime warranty. We have our own 24/7 towing service, so you never have to wait. Plus, we offer on-site rental cars for every lifestyle. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
Happy St. Patty's Day from your friends at Skyline. It's the only day you can enjoy our traditional greenways. Your favorite 3, 4, or 5-way made with green noodles. Come and get your greenways today at participating Skylines while supplies last.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hired them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony's tennis shorts were so tight, they had to pixelate his crotch. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, here we go with the baller from Bedford. His name is Tyvis Powell. He pushed us off an hour today for some important meeting, so we didn't win that battle, but we still have him. So that feels good. How you doing, my man?
You know what the sick thing is? The meeting got pushed back to tomorrow.
Classic.
All right.
Classic.
All right, so if there was a famous, and there were too many great 23s at Ohio State in my memory. I covered a great fullback in Matt Keller. We know that Sean Springs' dad wore it. If you had to have 23 when you got here, and there was a retired Buckeye that had 23, would you have asked Ohio State, hey, call him up, ask him if I can have the number, or would that have felt awkward to you?
Nah, I would have just got a new number. I would have just got a new number. So, I mean, 23 is great and all, but, like, I feel like I can make the number. You know what I'm saying? Like, the player makes the number. Like, to be honest with you, AR, I always wanted to wear number 1. When I was in high school, I wore number 1. I told myself when I got to Ohio State and I became a guy, I would switch my number to 1. But the problem is I made this such iconic play in 23 that I couldn't change it after I did that. So it kind of messed me up.
I see. I understand. The number is emotional. It can be. And you probably wouldn't have had too bad of a time getting number 1. I mean, Freeman.
Once Bradley Roby left, it was fair game. So
okay.
and then I didn't get it, and then the true freshman Eric Smith came in and got it. Like, I definitely could have had it, but, it is what it is.
Calling out that one of your own plays was iconic is kind of insane to me, but that's a different conversation for a different day. I wanted to ask you about this because Rothman and I were talking about quarterbacks, and Dan Orlovsky had a comment about Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson, how he thinks the gap is a little bit smaller. A few weekends ago, you and I were together, and we were going over this quarterback class. Do you agree with Dan Orlovsky that the gap between Fernando Mendoza and a guy like Ty Simpson is smaller than what most of the public believes?
Yeah, I think the biggest knock on Ty Simpson is that everybody likes to point out this guy has had fewer than 15 starts. I guess if you get any quarterback that over the past couple of years that had over fewer than 15 starts has not done well in the NFL. So a lot of people are looking at that as the measuring stick for him. But I think that if you're talking about a guy who I feel like game will translate to the NFL level, I think Ty Simpson might be ahead of Fernando Mendoza. Don't get me wrong. I think Fernando Mendoza has some plays where he's made some big-time throws, stood in the pocket, took a big-time hit to deliver a pass down the field. He's got some clutch moments. You think about the Penn State and you think about the national championship, he made some very clutch things happen. But if you're talking about a guy that from the time the game begins to the game ends, that can consistently make the right decisions and that can go through what an NFL coach requires him to go through, I think Ty Simpson might be the better prospect.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they'd have the guts to do that. I don't think anyone's going to have the guts to do that because Mendoza has wowed people the entire year and came up against very good teams and looked pretty good most of the time. All right, we talked about this earlier of Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate. Who's the so-called safest draft pick and who would be the riskiest?
Well, I think Arvell is the riskiest. I just think that it really depends on what system you run. I think he's more of a 3-4 outside linebacker than a 4-3 guy. I don't think he's a traditional defensive end. I think he has the ability to do that, but I think I could see him more of a T.J. Watt type role. I think that would be fantastic for him, and I think he'd thrive in that. So, to me, if you don't have that system, I think it's a risky pick, but that's neither here nor there. As far as the safest pick goes, I think that the highest floor out of those guys is probably Carnell. Why do I say that over Caleb Downs? Well, the Caleb Downs thing, it matters where you're going to play him at, because what makes Caleb Downs so special is the fact that he can play in the box, he can play in the post, he can play linebacker. He can do all these multiple different positions. But if you're telling me you're going to take a guy that talented and put him in the post, don't get me wrong, he'll be great playing the post, but I think you're diminishing what he's good at. I think that you're underutilizing him. So Carnell Tate, to me, I think the difference between Carnell is we're not asking, is he going to be good or bad? It's more so, is he going to be good or great? And I think that, to me, puts him at the safest floor out of the bunch.
It's the first spin on that one I've heard, and it makes a lot of sense to me. All right, so let's talk about the Cleveland Browns. They're picking at 6 and 24 in the draft, and I think a lot of us believe that they're going offensive line and wide receiver. Just depends on where they pick them. So if you're back there picking for them, who do you take first, wide receiver, offensive line, and what are the guys that you like?
I think that I would go wide receiver first. I think that if you look at just the past few drafts, The wide receiver talent has been amazing. And then you look at those three. It's the big three in the wide receivers. It's Tate, Tyson, and Lemon. I think those three guys are guys that could come in right away and produce right away. I'm good with the Browns taking either one of those three guys. I think that if you go with Tyson, I think that obviously there's the injury factor there, but I think out of the three, he's the most athletic guy out of the three. So I think that he has some big playmaking ability. I think that Cardinale is the safest out of the three, and I think Makai Lemon is the better football player out of the three. So to me, you got three things right there that I think you can go right with either one. I would take the tackle second because I think that the tackles, for some odd reason, all of a sudden the talk on them is everybody's not as high on these tackles. Why? Because one, there's not a lot of left tackles in this draft, and two, a lot of these guys is tweeners, meaning they can play tackle or guard. So I think you'll be safe getting a guy later in the draft who could potentially be a true tackle. Let some of those Francis and Spencer Fano guys go because those are right tackles anyways, and you're looking for a left tackle. And I think it's only two of those guys, and nobody's really talking about those guys. Myro Freeland has shot up the draft board since the combine, so that's a guy who a lot of people think may go top 10. I don't know. You got to really turn the tape on and watch it. It's just kind of funny how before the combine he was seen as maybe a day 2 pick or a late first round. Now all of a sudden he's the first tackle off the board. So to me, that tells me that people are more enamored with his size than what his tape actually shows. So I think that that's something that you need to pay attention to. But me personally, I'm taking the skill player first because those guys can be game changers. Pretty similar to taking Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell.
All right, so I want to go back a sec, and you played against a lot of great wide receivers. You said Makai Lemon is the best football player out of that group. What do you mean when you say that?
He's just very crafty. You know, he's not like a blazer. He's not the most physical guy or all of that, but he gets open. He understands how to beat one-on-one coverage, and although he's small, that never plays a factor. You've never watched him play and be like, wow, his size is the reason why he can't get this done. Like, to me, like, that never has been an issue with him. He's still found ways to get things done. He's won multiple routes. He can play inside, outside. I think he's better suited inside. And I think when you look at the Cleveland Browns, if you go back and watch Shedeur Sanders, a lot of his balls, especially early on, went to Harold Fanning and Isaiah Bond, who played the slot. So I think he's very comfortable with going to the slot and those inside guys. Plus, I think if you put him and Harold, you know, both of those guys working the slot, that can give defenses a ton of problems because now you're opening up things for Jerry Jeudy, but your production is in your inside guys. When they're blitzing, like you go back to the Baltimore Ravens game where teams want to line 7 guys across the line of scrimmage, where now your hot route is your inside slot guy who is a big, dangerous piece that you got to go out there and protect. So to me, I think that just works with the Cleveland Browns a little bit better.
All right, man. We got you locked in for that, at least for now. We appreciate the insight, brother. Talk to you soon.
Appreciate y'all. Go Bucks, go Browns, go Cavs, go Jackets, and go Guards. Free Class till it's backwards. Take Ortiz.
He's Class A's number 1 attorney on the Dream Team. We're going to come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Coffee, iced cap, refreshers. Tim Hortons has all your favorite beverages. And now you can get your favorite bite for less. When you buy any size beverage, add a baked daily donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. So next time you order your favorite Tim's beverage, add something that satisfies your cravings and your wallet. The $1, $2, $3 menu. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply.
Camping World is now open in Sunbury. The celebration starts now, and you're invited. Join us from March 19th to the 22nd for our grand opening block party with special pricing on a huge selection of new and used RVs. Enjoy free food, fun on-site activities, and exciting giveaways. Plus, enter for a chance to win a brand new RV. As part of America's #1 RV network, Camping World brings you more value and more ways to enjoy life on the road. Don't miss the grand opening block party at Camping World in Sunbury. We'll see you there.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at Coughlin Ford. During Ford Truck Month, take over $13,000 off MSRP, plus no payments until June on select new F-150s. New Bronco Sport or Ranger. Lease for $399 a month for 48 months. Visit CoughlinFord.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
Factory rebates to dealer. 90-day deferred payments. Not all buyers will qualify. Bronco $399 down. Ranger $2,000 down. 7,500 miles per year. 25 cents per mile over. Excludes $250 dock fee. $395 disposition fee at lease. No security deposit. Ends 3/31/26.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully, with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Oh, what? Just cleared that drain last week.
At the Waterworks, we mean clean, which means we don't just clear your drain, we actually clean it. Get your drains good as new with the Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here.
And it's Berm from the Austin Berm Show.
Berm and I have both done Awaken 180, which honestly should tell people something right there.
Right. It tells you that if it can work for you and me, it can work for anybody.
Because neither one of us has exactly been out here living or were living like a fitness influencer.
No, not unless you count fitness fast food tacos in my mouth.
You treated fast food like it was a love language.
I loved it and I still do.
And look, that's fair, but that's also why Awaken 180 works for people listening right now. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to know what you're doing.
No, what you need is a plan. You need someone to help bring you along, and Awaken 180 does that. They tell you what to eat, when to eat, how to eat, and how to make it fit your life.
I lost 50 pounds with Awaken 180, then another 5 in free maintenance.
For me, it was 35. I'm in maintenance, and I'm under 200 pounds for the first time in 25 years.
This isn't just for some tiny group of people who already have it all figured out.
Nope, it works for real people with busy lives who are on the go just like us.
You know, if you're just tired of carrying that weight around, do what we did. It sounds like a lot of people out there can do exactly what Awaken 180 did for us.
Yeah, go to awaken180weightloss.com now.
Hey, it's Common Man.
And T-Bone.
And Timmy.
And Tyvis.
Pizza Madness is here.
Oh, Pizza Madness, baby.
PizzaMadness.pizza on the interwebs. Vote now. It's brought to you by Billiards Plus.
Go vote, you stupid idiots.
The fan poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yingling drafts for only $4. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by McDaniel GM Superstore. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, TLC, take us home, my man.
All right, Joshua. What are the jerseys you got in the closet?
Mr. Joshua.
Like I said, names probably aren't going to wow anybody. I've got a Tyvis Powell 49ers jersey.
Wait a minute.
Amazing.
What number would that have been? That would
think it was a 45.
It wasn't 23.
It might have been 40.
Yeah, or something like that. So that got the Tyvis Powell. I got a Von Bell Saints jersey.
Wait, Tyvis on the Seahawks.
Didn't the Seahawks release you twice? You wore 30 on the Niners.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, don't have that one in the frame.
Wait, you said Ford. You said San Fran anyway. Never mind.
Yeah.
I meant to play that drop at the end of that segment. Shoot.
You got some work to do. Got a Von Bell Saints jersey. I've got a Devin Gardner, as I mentioned, and I've got a Jake Butt. So a little Michigan flavor over there, but those have become
Central Ohio.
Yeah, well,
Jake Butt at least.
Yeah, Jake is a phenomenal guy too. He's become one of my great friends. So had to do a jersey swap with the boy.
Very nice. Tell the truth. Do you think Warren Moon regrets unretiring his number for Cam Ward now that the Titans have changed their color scheme to match the Oilers?
Probably not.
You know, I don't. I don't think he felt any pressure. I feel like he hasn't played in 25 years. I don't think that was a big deal. I think a lot, like I said earlier, a lot of these guys are put in a tough spot, but it also brings them back into, not that a Hall of Famer needs to be, quote, back in relevancy, but I think it probably is a compliment to them. They take it as a big deal. If they had to be, your permission needs to be asked and given. I think that they find that appealing as well. And plus, here's the other thing. When a recruit or somebody that hasn't proven himself is asking to wear a Legends number, you also have to understand that most of the time the percentage is that it'll make the Legend look even better.
Sure.
Because the younger guy is probably not going to live up to half of what the guy who wore it did. And it actually puts more pressure, I think, on the younger player that they're probably not thinking about at that point. So, no, I don't think he regrets it.
I think if he was going to do it, he was going to do it regardless of any changes that might bring him back to the old days.
You have to stay fresh or you die.
This is now back-to-back years that DeVere did not respond when I texted him happy birthday. Tell the truth. Did he save my number or no?
Brother, he didn't respond to me either.
Whew, okay, I'm good.
I texted him, happy birthday, brother, and nothing. So either he doesn't have either one of us saved or he was real busy on his birthday.
Now I feel bad. I'm the guy that didn't text him. But maybe I feel good that I wasn't aware of it and that I didn't get rejected with a no read.
Because he's got the Instagram stories going of like reposting everybody's, and I'm just like, so I know he's on his phone.
So this goes maybe against your policy.
What's my policy?
Don't wish someone a happy birthday that didn't wish you a happy birthday.
Huh.
Because he probably didn't wish you a happy birthday in February, which wasn't long ago.
That's for distant friends. So I brought
I'm
it
just
up.
saying, either you're trying to...
Actually, you know what? Good point. But he didn't get the company email that didn't get sent out, so you know.
Sounds like maybe you're just going athlete glaze here, maybe, with a little... he didn't text me, but he's the guy. So.
You know?
By the way, we know this man is always on his phone because of the screen time thing. I think he was on with Beamer, and he's like 19 hours a day or something.
That's a little surprising. This is a little surprising.
I thought he'd text back.
So you're thinking that he didn't want to be that guy that says, I'm sorry, I don't know who this is. Because that's embarrassing, too.
You just say thank you on the birthday and keep it pushing.
If you get just like a 614 area
Good
code.
point.
Yeah.
You just toss out a thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can tell, too, when someone, like, may or may not know who it is. Because they send out just, like, a thanks exclamation point with, like, nothing personal.
How do you guys handle that? Not a birthday one. But if someone texts you something, like, random about, hey, I saw this thing or something, and you don't know, you don't have that contact in your phone, right?
But you can tell that it's not some wrong number. It's just,
That's right.
Like, they are addressing me right now.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Ignore.
No.
So you don't just honestly say,
all right.
Or do you go with the lying excuse, which is, I don't know, I lost my contacts or I got a new phone or like.
No. I've got 2,695 unread messages in my phone, so
Okay,
I'm literally ignoring.
What?
That's so y'all get a text back when you text me. Feel good about it.
Wait, you got DeVere's phone over there?
2,000
unread messages?
Yeah, almost 3,000.
Unread. Not like where you kind of looked at them, but it doesn't show red.
No, it's literally the ones that I have. Nobody has time for all that.
Wow.
There's a number right there.
Well, you are that guy.
Who are the people who you aren't texting back?
Plenty of them.
Wow. I'm probably on a regular text program with about 4 people.
Program?
Well, you know, like where you're texting, not calling, but you're always keeping in touch. You're texting more than you're calling.
The program.
The program. Yeah.
The program.
Well, I mean, you're on the phone all the time talking to people. So the texters,
I'm of
they
that
got
era.
relegated.
I actually talk to people.
It's like European soccer. They're the second division. They need to win their league to make it up to the phone call division.
You guys are spinning this the wrong way. I'm actually talking to people, rarely texting.
Yeah.
But now I'm also I
like that. It's old
text
school.
deleter.
Oh, really?
I don't leave.
I have the threads in there so I can go back to the ones I didn't read at some point.
I'd say every few months, in fact, I just did this probably a week or two ago. Every few months I go through and I'm just like, I got to get rid of these. Just like, there's too much.
Hey, is it DeVere?
Sometimes the storage notifications I get on my phone.
Do you do it with the email too? I've never deleted an email.
My email reads like your text messages.
Okay. All right.
Is it his birthday today?
No, it was 3:15, so it was Sunday.
Oh, I was going to text him now to see if I could just get over on you guys.
Well, see if he replies anyway.
Save it for Friday. Well, so in the very first
belated happy birthday text
No, just say it like Friday's his birthday.
In the first segment of the show on Friday, text Devere and say, "Hey man, I heard it was your birthday this past Sunday. I'm sorry I didn't reach out. Just want to wish you a happy birthday." So we have the whole show for him to text back.
Do I actually sign my name to it? Because
No, because I didn't, and I'm assuming you didn't.
I didn't.
So then that'll be the double proof.
I did last
A, he
year.
responds, and B, actually has my contact in there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So that's going to be our little...
Don't do it now and reveal it on Friday. Actually text him on Friday. I could give him 2 whole days. I could give him like 3 days to get back to me.
No, we don't want to give him that much.
All right.
It's got to be in... That's the game of the show on Friday.
All
Is
right.
Can we get
Remind
a text
me.
back? The athlete glaze.
His birthday was just last month. He was like, you guys wish people happy birthday that don't wish you. He was like, no, I hold a grudge.
I don't care. It's too much mental energy.
All right, Common Man
What
and
if you
Timmy
don't
are
get
up
invited to
next.
their birthday party?
You're going to be back Friday.
Yes, I am.
Common Man and Timmy are up next, and they're going to do a ranking of whoever was working today and their best, like, Liam Neeson Irish accent.
Oh, God.
A specific set of skills. They'll have that for you coming up next. We will talk to you tomorrow, and we'll lay out some Final Four picks and all that good stuff. We got a massive show with Hockey and Hounds, maybe an ex-legendary Buckeye. All that is in play. We'll talk to you tomorrow at noon. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
A very particular set of skills. Question from a listener. Do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.